Now hit the like button as you come in. We're gonna start this live off, hitting the ground running. So now they talking about Lamont Roach might get a loss. Might get a win counted instead of a draw, and Tank Davis might get a loss. You know what I'm saying? Even Tank Davis kind of recognized that. Kind of recognized it. Not fully, but kind of. It's not a good look, dog. It's not a good look. Warn people, train was coming. That's why at this point right now, what I'm really wondering right now in my mind is, why is so many people asking for, they like, oh yeah, let's have a rematch, the rematch. And I'm like, I was so many people who probably think, okay, do you think he won the fight? I'm talking about they asking for the rematch bad. I knew if the fight go 12, it was gonna be a rematch fight again every time. Every time Tank get a fight to go 12 rounds, it has to be a rematch. Every time. I said this fight go 12 rounds, it's gonna be a gang of people talking about rematch again, like we had against Eastside Cruz. Rematch. But right now, it look like this loss can be, this draw can be turned into a loss for Tank. You know, even he knows that at this point, that it can happen. Not for sure yet, but there's definitely news coming out. Because for a lot of reasons. If I'm a boxer right now, just to be on the real, and I've been advocating for people to fight in New York. If I'm a boxer, I'm not fighting in New York. For what? So I can get robbed? Nah, I go fight in Florida somewhere. At this point, man, it's like, come on, man. There's too much stuff going on. Especially with referees and judging, scoring. It's always something going on now. Those two places there in Vegas is becoming, I don't know, it's getting a bad reputation lately. After the Garcia fight last year, I thought things was gonna be a lot better. We got knockdowns not getting counted. Crazy stuff going on. Then you got the public worrying about the reason why Tank kneeled down. Like, who cares? You don't have anything to do with that. I don't think anybody understands that. Nobody has anything to do with that. That's between him and the referee. Everybody trying to figure out the hairdresser and everything. Bruh, that ain't got nothing to do with boxing, man. That's why I said these ain't boxing fans. These are hairdresser fans. People that go look for the hairdresser. Let's figure out let's go find who did the braids, fans. Bro, y'all really they really went and hunted down a lady who did his braids. Like, come on, man. Do you think they care about a jab, really? Let's be 100 for a minute. You think anybody who running down on Twitter to find out who braided Tank's hair, do you think they care about a jab? Let's be real. I hear everybody talking about, yeah, rematch. To be honest with you, you know what's crazy? I ain't gotta see a rematch. I mean, the people who gotta see a rematch, like, you gotta see a rematch. Why you gotta see a rematch though? Hey, if you feel like Tank won the fight, why you gotta see a rematch? Cause I'm hearing a lot of people, man. I think Tank edged it out, man. I'm hearing a lot of people say, "Hey, I feel like Tank edged it out." Why you gotta see a rematch though? I ain't gotta see a rematch. Fight went the way I thought it was gonna go. As far as the draw, didn't think that would happen. Am I surprised? Nah. But my question to everybody is, why do you got to see the rematch? If you think Tank won the fight or whatever, I'm hearing people say Roach ain't did nothing. Okay, why you got to see the rematch then if Roach did nothing? What does Tank have to prove to you? Yeah, exactly. You feel like he lost. Keep it 100. They still ain't keeping it 100 after all this time. And this was another fighter that they ain't like. They'll be like, oh, keep it 100, man. You know that's how the guy really is. They ain't built for this, I promise. The way they be talking about some of these fighters, y'all ain't built for this, bro. Y'all be talking about these guys like they a transformer or something. Like this Optimus Prime or somebody. Like everybody else ain't talented in boxing. Like they just gonna, like certain guys, bro, we know certain guys that's coming to get knocked out and other guys that's coming to fight. It's two different kind of fighters in boxing. That's why this New York thing needs to happen. They need to go ahead and overturn this, get a man his knockdown. The fact that people are talking about right now, if it was a knockdown or not, that just lets you, that shows the whole world right now. People who don't keep up with boxing every day, people who don't watch boxing every day, let's just say people who thinking about watching boxing, they sitting back right now like, oh, they arguing about whether somebody got knocked down or not. Oh, okay. I might want to change my mind about watching that sport. These people can't even figure out if somebody got knocked down or not. Why would I waste my time watching that sport? That's how you keep fans away from boxing. Little kitty stuff like this. Oh, it was a hairdresser. Oh, it took a knee. This is why people don't pay for fights no more. Kitty stuff like this. This is why people don't pay for fights. It is what it is. I just realized something. I can't see the chat at all. But yeah, that's why people don't pay for fights like this, man. Yeah, I can't see the chat at all, man. It is what it is, though. But yeah, man, people know right now, at the end of the day, I seen the last couple of weeks, people was getting super disrespectful. Oh, Terrence Crawford to get beat down by Tank Davis. I'm like, and people are agreeing with it. I'm like, really? Bro, that sound good, bro, but right now that looks impossible. Talking about y'all need to see a rematch with this guy. I know you do need to see a rematch. I know you do. Everybody who's saying that, yeah, I know you do need to see a rematch. I bet you do. You didn't think Roach would do that. You don't think he can do it again, to you. Like, even if you do fight him again, it's going to be the same type of fight. It's going to be a draw again. So what, you hoping that Tank get a knockout? What if he don't? Yeah, so the New York State Athletic Commission, man, they definitely need to step in and make this happen because this needs to be a loss. People talking about people just want to see Tank with a loss and people are hating. Come on, man. I know dudes ain't going in that direction. People just want to see Tank with a loss. Ain't nobody hoping that Tank lose a fight. I can't believe people even saying that. I can't believe what I'm hearing, man. They saying people just want to see Tank with a loss. And what you think these other guys been getting that people been laughing at and trolling? They getting losses too. I mean, one person's career ain't bigger than the other. When it comes to boxing, somebody gonna lose. But what I noticed over the years, though, people ain't breaking down fights like that. They're just going with the popular person, and it is what it is. But I know why y'all need to see a rematch with Roach, though. There's a lot of people out here saying, man, yeah, we want to see the rematch. I know why you want to see the rematch. You already know why I ain't got to see the rematch. We ain't even got to talk about it. What's understood ain't got to be explained. You know why I ain't got to see the rematch. I know why you got to see it. You need to see it. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. I hear people explaining why and why the fight looked this way. At the end of the day, man, they might change this fight over to a loss for Tank. That's why he fighting right now to try to get a rematch, if you want to be honest. The reason why Tank fighting to get a rematch right now is because he know it might be overturned to a loss. It's a big deal right now that happened. That's a big deal. You got to realize, and you know what? It's funny that it happened because Tank's fans been complaining about a lot more of stuff that happened to other boxers. Things that happened to other boxers, they made a bigger deal out of. So now that the shoe is on the other foot, as far as it's happening to them now, you know, see how that goes. That's why I said when they was trolling last year, I'm like, bro, some stuff gonna happen. Anything can happen in boxing. It just take one little slip up, that's it. And that's really all it takes. Now people explaining stuff about hairdressers, like, I'm not even finna talk about all that. If you gotta explain all that, bro, you need to be in the house. I thought we was rolling with that kind of mentality. Dudes talking about they come from the block, then they talking about they got hit in the eye with a braid. Like, which one is it? Is you outside or you not? I wish I would have somebody around me that's supposed to be one of the most dangerous people on earth talking about they got hit in the eye with a braid. Man, we gonna lose that battle and the war. Oh man, hold on, I got hit in the eye with some grease or a braid. Yeah, we done. So yeah, that mentality definitely shows a lot. Nobody can explain that. As we've said before, see, a knockout can really, clean up a lot of things. It really can. See, a knockout in boxing, you just get one of those, you ain't gotta explain it. But what I noticed was people was putting something extra on it because Terrence Crawford was knocking out people as well, stopping bigger names. And no credit. So once I seen that, it was just like, okay, people playing favorites. Because Crawford doing the same thing, knocking people out. When he go the distance with a guy, we got to explain how the guy bomb and everything else. Tank go 12. He go 12 with Lamont Roach. Now everybody a super Lamont Roach fan. A couple of days ago, I was telling people about Lamont Roach. Everybody, oh man, he getting knocked out, bro. Yeah, you dudes is super fanned out right now and getting exposed. All I know is right now, everything I've been saying is getting explained right now, and I ain't got to say a word. Never come at me that way ever in life, as far as trolling. And these be the biggest trolls too. Super quiet right now. Trolls in boxing are the worst, man. But yeah, right now, they might take this loss. They might take this draw away from Tank and give him a loss. Because, he's in that position right now to where he gotta earn his keep, man. He ain't really doing the things he needs to keep that belt. And him taking that knee, that was a knockdown, man. At the end of the day. Then the excuse was worse. But that was a knockdown. We done seen people get hit with a body shot and be like, don't feel it, then go down. We just seen that plenty of times. But for him to just go down and people explaining, man, don't nobody need to explain nothing, man. That's what people don't understand. Anybody explaining anything about the grease, the hair, or him taking a knee, you explaining anything is biased, being biased. I'll just say that. If you're explaining anything and your name ain't Tank, please be quiet. Like usually we can have people talk, even me or whatever, but when it come to him taking that knee, man, nobody needs to say anything. Like if you talking, that means you biased. It don't matter who. And I might have to go back and look at anybody who said anything the last couple of days about a braid or anything. Bruh, you don't need to be talking. If you explaining why a braid hit another man in the eye or whatever, you got some issues. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't care who you are. At that point, you got issues. So no man need to be explaining why Tank took a knee or had a braid hit him in the eye. Nobody. Not one. After he said all that, he don't need nobody defending that. Talking about rematch. Oh, you think the rematch happening because of that? They ain't even count that. So I don't know why everybody trying to make it seem like that's the reason why a rematch should happen. Sorry to tell you, but they ain't even counting the little knockdown that everybody acting like didn't happen. It happened by mistake. They remember everything else when dudes is tripping over their own feet and falling down. I done seen guys lose balance all the time, fall down. People like, oh look, they got fall. That was a knockdown. Yeah, man. Never seen this before in my life. I don't know if people understand this, but this is showing how extreme boxing fans are. When people been saying, oh, y'all just been hating. Nah, this is hating. To even have to defend Lamont Roach right now, that's hating. Dudes is hating on Lamont Roach right now and getting exposed. This is hating. I ain't giving this man credit at all. Talking about Tank ain't focused and everything. Man, come on, man. Y'all ain't never gave no excuse for no fighter not being focused. And no fights ever. We done had dudes going through divorces and everything going through fights. Even Tiafimo going through divorces. You ain't never hear nobody sit up here and say, oh man, he ain't focused. Even he took his loss like a man and went on. Even though he act like a coward. Now all of a sudden he talking, oh man, he wasn't focused. He was focused the last time when old girl was calling the cops on him. He wouldn't got a knockout after that. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nope, not even doing it. Sorry to tell you. A lot of people using excuses now. Now everybody, the same people that sit around and talking about everybody got excuses for this fighter and that fighter. Now they barking like dogs right now, trying to explain. Why do you have to explain what my eyes seen? This is what I'm trying to. This is the weird part about boxing. Why you got to explain what I saw? And you the main one asking for a rematch. I ain't got to see no rematch. I don't care if these guys don't ever fight again. What I got to see? I saw what I need to see. So the fact that you need to see that again, okay, what if Tank don't get a knockout? So what, you need to see 12 more rounds to make sure he can get a knockout? Because he wasn't focused? That's what I'm hearing? Okay. That sounds good then. All right. Okay. So what I'm hearing is people don't think Lamont Roach can go 12 more rounds. And they hoping that the left hand land. That's about it. And this is high priority right now because after he fought Isaac Cruz, they wasn't begging for the fight like this. And by the way, speaking of Isaac Cruz just came out. Well, he said after the fight that he feel like Tank Davis lost that fight. He feel like Lamont Roach won. So who would I think is telling the truth more when it comes to Tank fight? The fans or Isaac Cruz? You know, if I'm Isaac Cruz and I want a Tank Davis fight next really bad, I would go out there and say that Tank Davis won the fight. And that would kind of help highlight, you know, our fight being next. But me going out there saying that Tank Davis lost, that doesn't really help my case as far as getting the Tank Davis fight. So they gotta mean only one option. The man is actually telling the truth. Why would he want to devalue Tank right now instead of getting the fight with him and, you know, a rematch? So, shout out to Isaac Cruz for being a real one, a real soldier in boxing, with some more good news. But he feels like Tank Davis lost that fight. So if you're a boxing fan, if you've been watching boxing for 50 years or whatever, cool. We appreciate your service. But I'm going to just let you know that Isaac Cruz feel like Tank lost that fight. Shakur Stevenson said the same thing. And that's about it. I'm pretty sure he didn't say that he felt like Tank lost to Isaac Cruz. So probably did, I don't know. But as far as in this one, it was a lot of people that felt like he lost the fight. That's professional fighters. So the fact that Isaac Cruz came out and kind of validated that a little bit as far as him losing, I guess everybody gonna say he don't know what he talking about. He don't know how to score a fight now. Okay. So I don't know how to score a fight. Isaac Cruz, Shakur Stevenson, Terrence Crawford. Okay. A lot of other people too as well. A lot of other people. A lot of people. I've seen a lot of athletes. Bro, right now, you got the mainstream. They like trying to really look past it, but they can't really look past it because we know what we saw. See, everybody want to look past him right now. That's why I told y'all recently. These people got more criticism for old Mike Tyson than they do these young fighters. They proving my point right now that this generation is super fanned out, bro. Super fanned out. They got more criticism for Mike Tyson than they do to Tank Davis. Mike Tyson looked better in his fight than Tank Davis did. Mike Tyson wasn't taking no knee. Mike Tyson, the first person that should have been taking a knee. Mike Tyson looked better in his last fight. And I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. I'm dead serious. I'm super serious. All these excuses I'm talking about. Man, please. I'm hearing all. He should have been disqualified. Dude he was throwing low blows. He wasn't listening. What? Man, he should have got disqualified. People talking about just want to see Tank Davis lose. Get out of here, man. Come on, man. Like Isaac Cruz said, he lost. Period. I don't know what everybody else talking about. He lost. He lost the fight. It's a reason why Tank lost the fight. He lost. He got beat. Just won this night. I mean, that's what boxing is, man. Just keep it pushing. The best always loses fights. We didn't always seen, even the superheroes get beat up in a movie once in a while. They trying to make it seem like dudes ain't getting hit. They just walking through everything. Come on, man. At this point right now, if you got to change the storyline like that, I mean, nobody gonna be able to enjoy the sport, to be honest with you. You're taking the fun out of it now. Just to be real. Because Lamont Roach doing way too much in the sport right now to be trying to take a back seat to anybody. I mean, once you take the fight, it's go time after that. But a lot of people need to see the rematch right now because they feel like Tank Davis lost, man. I'm hearing a lot of people ask for the rematch right now, to be honest with you. If you're a person right now who feels like Lamont Roach actually won the fight, you're not going to sit up here and say, hey, man, I got to see the fight between Tank Davis and rematch between Tank and Roach. I'm being real. If you feel like Tank won the fight, you're not going to ask for a rematch right now. You're going to be like, man, I'd rather see Tank fight Shakur Stevenson right now, and that's it. But if you feel like he really lost that fight, yeah, you're going to ask for a rematch. For sure. And a lot of people asking for a rematch. But I know Tank asking for a rematch right now because he know that Roach can possibly fight Shakur next. And also, he knows that they could turn around the rules as far as the knockdown, and he can end up getting a loss. They changed that little mistake up they made. He gonna end up with a loss. He knows this as well. That's why he said the mistake is on me. He said it today. 2 days later. Oh, I know why. He didn't got word that, hey, man, they might make that a loss. Too many people talking about it right now. Way too many people. I'm gonna say something else too. Shout out to all these people I'm looking at right now. Well, not looking at right now, but I seen they've been talking about the fight. You got people that don't even watch boxing every day. Well, they don't have a boxing podcast, but they breaking down the fight better than dudes who do have a boxing podcast, bruh. Man, see, y'all finna hurt the sport, bro. See, now y'all got casuals coming out breaking down fights better than dudes who cover the boxing every day. And it's just, it's something we don't need right now in boxing. People don't understand that, but it's another thing to show everybody, oh, okay, they don't know what they're talking about. The only thing that everybody gonna say, as far as the casuals, the smart ones, because I'm starting to find out usually smart boxing fans are casuals who don't waste their money on stupid stuff like this. Because you paying $80-something for a fight, you don't even know if it was a knockdown or not in the fight. We can't even agree on that. Like, come on now. So they got to come out here and break down stuff on videos because they see so many people out here pushing narratives. Like I said, these dudes be pushing narratives. They be pushing narratives. They really do. Even if the fight was close, a loss, not a loss, with the knockdown or the knee, people act like it's the end of the world. You gotta go to the hair grease and everything else. It's like, all right, bro. Like the fact that people care about that, to be honest with you. Like, to be honest with you, I don't really care about none of that. What does that got to do with Lamont Roach throwing a jab all in his face all night? And having him buzzed and about to fall back? What they got to do with him getting hurt more than Lamont Roach mostly in the fight? Lamont Roach got hurt with a couple, I'll say like one shot I seen. But right after that, he started walking forward. He wasn't getting beat down like people trying to make it seem. But yeah, as far as everything that people are talking about right now, it's mostly irrelevant, man. Like everything that's going on right now is going to be about the loss, whether Tank gonna get a loss or not. That's what they're talking about right now. Because people don't understand that New York been having way too many things going on, from the Ryan Garcia situation to now this Tank fight. If you a champion, why would you fight in New York? If I was a boxing promoter right now, I'd be like, nah, we ain't fighting in New York. They did a good job as far as the testing and whatever they did. But as far as this refereeing, it's not a good look. Then you got the people on the side and the judges. It just ain't a good look. I wouldn't put a fight up there. Not with my fighter. If I was a promoter or a manager for Lamont Roach, I'd be like, nah, we can do this rematch somewhere else. That'll be the first thing I would say. New York got too many slip-ups, man. Way too many. And that's a stain on the referee. I told somebody a couple of weeks ago, I was like, man, that referee, he been slipping up lately. I seen him in Japan having a hard time. Then he had the dudes flip over the ropes in the Carissa Shields fight. The two guys who flipped over the ropes. He refereed that fight a couple of weeks ago. I said, man, maybe he having some bad luck. I said, next time he do something wrong, it's going to be a red flag. And look at this fight. Huge mistake. And they was overlooking Lamont Roach, man. That's the bad part about it. Definitely overlooking Lamont Roach. I knew Tank knew what it was when he started complimenting Lamont Roach, talking about his power, everything like that. I just knew then. I said, yep, he know what time it is. And it's just so many things that people are coming up with. Excuses, bro. Excuses. Saying that Lamont Roach was familiar with Tank. Man, he ain't been around this dude like that. They act like these dudes used to live with each other or something like that. But, man, he ain't been around this dude like that, man. At the end of the day, we seen what happened. He got outboxed. Lamont Roach took all the power punches. And he didn't get knocked out. I didn't see Eastside Cruz in there saying, yeah, Tank ain't look focused tonight. I didn't see none of those guys who've been in the ring with Tank before, whether it's sparring or in a real fight, say that Tank look unfocused. The only people out here saying that is people who do not know him or or never been close to him or anything. Those are the only people out here that's saying that he's not. He looked like he wasn't focused. Bro, you calling all the names out that you calling out, and you wasn't focused against Lamont Roach? You don't need to be calling any names out. I don't know if anybody letting you know that. Letting you know that, but your OG should have been telling you, hey, don't be calling nobody out if you still working on being focused in the ring. I don't know why everybody overlooking that though. They just overlooking that. The man still got to work on being focused. And we asking him to ramp up the competition? How? So is he going to be focused in the Shakur fight? What about if that was Loma this weekend? He would have been all right with Loma? Keyshawn Davis? Man, telling y'all gonna send this dude into these fights flat-footed. Only thing y'all doing right now is y'all just letting these young guys get more powerful and stronger, more experienced, more dangerous. Trust me. And eventually they're gonna get in the ring with Tank. They're gonna be in their prime and he gonna be slowing down. Cause you're only fighting one time a year right now. But we got people right now talking about Lamont Roach. Yeah, he didn't win the fight. That's why I said scoring in fight, not being able to score a fight. The only thing saving Lamont Roach right now is the fact that he got a knockdown that wasn't counted. And it's obvious. The fact that people are out here trying to argue that it wasn't a knockdown, the fact that he needs that to actually even get a draw, basically, is why scoring in boxing is going to destroy the sport. Until they actually learn how to score boxing, I'm not just talking about the people who score. They can get every fight wrong. The fact that fans really don't know how to score a fight like that is really going to destroy boxing in the future. Because as time goes on and you really get tougher fights that's harder to score and they 50-50 fights, people just going with whoever at this point. I see that now. People just going with whoever they, oh, well, the dude on TV said this guy or Comfy Box. You got some people that go with Comfy Box, some people that follow the scorecard on TV, some people that listen to the commentators and just agree with whatever they say most of the time. Whoever win the most power punches, whoever more aggressive. They go with certain things. It's people that just go with certain things every time. The person who throws the most combinations, it's just something they go with every time. It might be a style. It's something they go with every time. And power, definitely power. Power is high on the list. If you got power, they definitely going with that. But this right here just exposes a lot, though. It really does. Because why would you get in the ring with Tank if you know that they're going to score the fight like this? That's why I'm saying a lot of fans, they be like, oh, well, this situation is going to make a lot of stuff bad, man. Like, if you're really a fighter and you fight like Lamont Roach, why would you want to get in the ring with a guy like Tank? At this point right now, they're making it seem like, yeah, Lamont Roach just got in the ring. He survived. He did enough to get a draw. And that's about it. Like, if you're a fighter right now, why would you stop everything you're doing and fight Tank right now? What is What is the benefit of doing that right now? If everything Lamont Roach did, how does that really benefit him? He gonna get notoriety and everything. He definitely gonna get the credit he deserved because a lot of people don't got no choice. But I'm talking about as far as in the future for other opponents. What is that gonna do for them? So do you have to get a knockdown or knockout against Tank to win the fight, or what is it gonna be? Because that first round they counted, I knew then. I said, "Oh no," nah. I knew it was gonna be a robbery or something. That's why at a certain point I'm like, shoot, Roach might have to get a knockout to win this fight. The way they scoring these fights, he might have to get a knockout. But it's gonna be bad though in the future. It's like, to be honest with you, a lot of people gonna say, "Hey man, guys need to fight Tank for what? So I can get done like Roach? Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'd rather go fight Roach. I'm good." They say he beat Tank anyway, so he had a draw with Tank, right? So he the only guy who had a draw with Tank, so he a hot name regardless. Roach already made a name for himself, which I knew that was gonna happen. So he a big name regardless. But the fact a lot of people right now, I'll just say this. When I seen Tank put up, do I have it right here? Look at this. When Tank put this up right here, this let me know everything I need to know. When he put up this, the rematch can be soon too, like end of May. Now look how many people looked at the message and look how many people hit the like button. Man, these people on they on they on a watch, bro. I don't want to say it because I can't say that word on YouTube, but they on yeah. Somebody need to definitely hit the life alert on them. They definitely afraid right now. 500,000 people looked at this message. All of them said when they seen it, good. It'd be funny when it happened to the other side though. I'll just say that. People better learn how to troll, boy. You got one left in the chain. You got one left. You down to your last piece of ammo. You know what I'm saying? Dudes is in Call of Duty around 10-30 rounds, but they run around with a grenade and that's it. Look how many people hit the like button. Why do y'all need to see Tank rematch this guy? If everybody act like Lamont Roach ain't do that much and he just, all he did was survive and that's it, and Tank was aggressive here and there, why you need to see the rematch then? Because most people that, agree with the draw, a lot of them sit up here and say Tank could have really won the fight. He the champ. He the champ anyway, so he really could have won the fight. Okay. So if you cool with how he performed, if it's good enough to get a win, why you need to see a rematch? Yeah, we know what time it is. Yeah, it's almost a guarantee the rematch happen. Look, over the weekend, I didn't say anything about a rematch. I didn't really care because I seen what I needed to see, and I wasn't surprised by the result. A lot of people definitely were surprised because people are talking about a rematch on Monday right now. It took people 2 days to come up with the fact that they need a rematch. A lot of people didn't want to say it yesterday, but today they like, yeah, we definitely need a rematch. Now you got to hold your career up for Lamont Roach. That's what happens when you go around tiptoeing. If he was fighting 3 or 4 times a year, he would have ran into this situation about 2 or 3 times already. See, when you can sit around here and prepare for certain guys for all this time and fight guys who's not in their prime before they ready. Yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff that goes on into picking opponents. That's why people criticize when guys pick a certain opponent so much. This is why guys get criticized. You got 12,000 people that hit immediately like, oh. They like, man, yeah, we need to see this rematch. I know why you need to see it. No further questions. I know why you need to see it. Man, there's so many people on this earth that be capping, bro. Capping is a lifestyle for some of these people. I'm talking about for real. There's really a lot of captains walking around. Yeah, it's really a lot of captains walking around. It really is. Definitely got to see that rematch, but you don't. But when it come down to breaking down the fight, they don't know what's going on. But they need to see a rematch though. Okay. Sound like you don't know what happened. They not too sure. Yeah, I'm glad Lamont Roach went in there and did what he did, man. Shut these people up. Because there's plenty more people who can do it. I'm tired of everybody walking around like these guys are Superman, like can't nobody get hurt or they can knock out everybody. Man, stop it. Talking about resumes, who resume weak and what. Y'all don't know who weak. Y'all don't even know who good. A couple of weeks ago, you were saying Lamont Roach was trash. Please don't talk about no resumes in boxing. The only reason you know Lamont Roach good right now is because Tank just fought him and went to war with him and basically lost. And y'all won't admit it, but he lost. That's the only reason you giving Lamont Roach credit, because Tank lost. That's the only reason you giving Lamont Roach credit. If he would have went in there and got knocked out in the first round, you wouldn't have said how good he was or how good the right hand is. So let's stop it. Please stop it. Too many excuses going on. Everybody getting exposed right now. And it's happening early too. Very fast. I mean, it's happening very fast in boxing right now. I mean, we're not even into 2025 like that. What, 2 months in? It's looking bad right now. Looking bad. I don't know, the internet ain't been around that long, so people be thinking like trolling. Like it'll never come back to hunt you type of stuff. Like, bro, this is, you're gonna have to stand on everything you say. I don't know if you know that or not. But when you say somebody gonna knock out everybody, it better happen. It better happen. Then you walking around talking about everybody trash. I'll go up 2 or 3 weight classes and knock this guy out. Then we have people talking about Tank was gonna knock out Terrence Crawford. He can knock him out. Nah, not if you talking about a Lamont Roach rematch. No, sir. Terrence Crawford? Nah. Nah. Let's make sure I hear those words again. The fact that people was talking about that, bruh. Too many people talking about boxing right now. The fact that Terrence Crawford versus Tank was even a discussion. Too many people talking about boxing right now. Just being real. Too many people. Then Keyshawn been putting in work the last 4 or 5 months. Now everybody shook. He going out here getting all these knockouts. The rematch can be soon too, like end of May. Now Tank Tank ain't never told nobody when he can set a fight up. I told y'all, bro. I sat up here and told y'all. Tank ain't never sat up here and said when he can set a fight up. He ain't never said this before. He ain't never got up on here and said, hey, man, I can set up a fight. He act like he don't be knowing what's going on out here. Shoot, he really sound like a good promoter right now. He talking about the end of May. That ain't a bad date, Tank. I don't think it's real, though. Because this your first time saying this, so, I mean, hard to believe somebody the first time they say something like this. But the end of May, that's a good date, though. Tank could be a good promoter, man, one day. That's a very good date. But you know, if they would have gave Lamont Roach the win, like they were supposed to, that rematch would have actually happened. But the reason why they didn't give Lamont Roach the win is so the rematch doesn't happen. So I'm hard to believe that the rematch is going to happen until I actually see it. And I really don't care about the rematch. Like I said, the only people who want to see the rematch or need to see it is people that were surprised by what Lamont Roach did. I wasn't surprised. I actually wasn't. I actually felt like Lamont Roach got bored a little bit at certain points. Because after the left hand wasn't landing, man, he moved on, man. That's what people ain't talking about right now. They talking about Tank focus off. What they got to do with the power, though? The power wasn't there. The power definitely wasn't there. They got to explain that one. I'm hearing people say Lamont Roach got a chin. Well, didn't Lamont Roach get dropped before? I heard everybody talking about another guy dropped Lamont Roach. What's up, Freeze? What's going on? Oh, yeah. Tank never rematches, bro. He ain't gonna never rematch nobody. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. He ain't gonna never rematch nobody. It's not gonna be a reason to rematch anybody. For what? Tank ain't rematch Eastside Cruz. This the first time Tank really getting some pushback right now. That's why he's thinking. But yeah, if nobody know right now, they thinking of counting the draw for Tank as a loss. Right now, they thinking about doing it. Let me pull that tweet up for y'all. My bad. See if I got it down here. That ain't it. Yeah, Lamont Roach. Word around the block, y'all favorite fighter. Well, he tried to say fighter. Finna be 30-1 and not 30-0-1. So they talking about right now that Tank could possibly have that draw changed to a loss. And they serious about it. Ain't nobody trying to fight in New York, bro. They think they're gonna get robbed. If you get robbed in New York, you're not going up there. Period. Trying to think of everything that's going on, but yeah, if you're not going to New York if you getting robbed up there. You already had that Devin Haney situation up there. People talking about Vada this and that. Man, even that was too much. They should have just went ahead, did the suspension like they was gonna do, keep it pushing. But they had to think about it, and even that took too much time. So right now, they're just making it harder for people to actually fight in New York. New York gonna be like Atlantic City in a minute. Well, Atlantic City's starting to get more fights now. I think all the fights gonna start going back to Atlantic City, and people from New York gonna have to go down towards there because ain't nobody going to New York. You ain't counting knockdowns. As a fighter, I'm wasting my time. And something had told me this morning, I was like, man, some good news gonna end up coming out about something. But they looking at it real hard as far as changing this fight to a loss for Tank. A lot of backlash right now. Getting a lot of backlash. A lot of people know how to score a fight. And the people who do, they didn't like what they seen over the weekend. Then the people who, the casuals bringing up the hair grease, that made other people kind of tune in a lot more. So then they looked at the knockdown when he took a knee. And most people who grew up watching boxing, they don't have to watch it every day. They knew that was a knockdown. And they kind of upset about it. You messing with the integrity of the sport right now. You really messing with the integrity of the sport. So if you got a cousin or something right now who jump in the ring with Tank, and he do the same thing, and Tank end up going to a knee, your cousin gonna end up getting robbed. So at the end of the day, it can happen to anybody. But I mean, if you like Tank to the point where you ain't gonna count a knockdown as a knockdown, I mean, okay. That ain't gonna help boxing, but that's cool too. I mean, that's going on now, so you can go ahead and enjoy that, but yeah, that definitely messes things up. So if you're a guy who's fighting Tank, if I'm a Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, I'm going into this fight feeling like I got to knock Tank out now. That's the crazy part. And what if Lamont Roach fight the same way again? What if he go in there and had the same exact fight with Tank? What we gonna do? Another draw? Come on, man. Somebody gonna one more point? What if he don't get a knockdown this time, like he did in this first fight? First thing people gonna say is, well, he ain't knocked the Tank down this time. That means he definitely lost. Like I said, what's the purpose of having a rematch in this fight? I don't really see it. And I'm not being I'm not being one of those kind of people. I'm just talking trash or being negative about a situation. I'm being honest. How is somebody Lamont Roach going 12 rounds with Tank again, going to change your mind about anything? For him to even have that done to Tank, to have him take a knee, I mean, that should be enough, man. The fact that he ain't getting his credit for that, that's going to hurt the sport. That's really going to hurt the sport. It really is. That's why I said, man, when you get online and you trolling a whole lot of fighters all the time, you just building up that persona like, man, I'm untouchable. Like, I'm going to stop everybody. Then I'm looking at the resume. I'm like, I can't really believe in a resume like that. I'm at a level where I don't care how many people you're knocking out. I'm going to see the flaw. You can have a lot of knockouts and stop people and everything else, and people talking about the IQ. But you had that one off night. Now everybody talking about you ain't focused. Next time. But the talent didn't went up though. That's why it trips me out when certain people say, oh, this guy, he can't beat an elite fighter, so he's not a good fighter. I mean, bro, y'all don't know who's elite yet until everybody start fighting each other. Now, last week, a lot of people didn't think Lamont Roach was elite. Now they're saying he's elite. But he had to fight Tank. If he didn't fight Tank, they wouldn't call him elite. He went elite to them when he fought Jamel Herring, or when he was the champion last year. And he fought what's his name, Freegan McCory. He fought him on Pro Box. Didn't nobody think he was elite then? And he's a 130 champion. Even I said last year, I'm like, dang, he getting overlooked bad this year. Just beat Hector Garcia and everything. And dropped him. He dropped Hector Garcia bad too. Everybody talking about, oh, that punch was behind the head. I mean, he still ain't been getting credit. Even in his biggest win, he still ain't get credit for that win. Because they talking about he hit him behind the head. Then you go out here and rob the man this weekend. People talking about it wasn't a robbery. Why you need to see a rematch then, man? These dudes is liars out here. I have never asked for a rematch for a fight that I felt like somebody won or it was a draw. If it was a draw, I'm like, okay. Because what you gonna see the next fight? He gotta get a knockout, right? Because at this point right now, people don't know how to score a fight. The scores is all over the place. You gotta literally show people now, like, this dude only threw this many punches in this round, and you telling me he won. Man, that comfy box Tank got is horrible. What's up, who that, Cali? I mean, who that call? Native Wild Man. Yeah, a knockdown's a knockdown, man. They messing with the integrity of the sport right now. If they don't change this quick, this gonna hurt the sport. I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people might not think so, but this is bad right now. If they don't fix this quick, with this Tank and Lamont Roach situation, it's no reason why a young fighter should go in the ring and fight Tank. It's no reason. There's no reason why. Some of the best fighters out here, they're going to end up doing the same thing Lamont Roach did. And end up getting a draw or a loss. You got professional boxers and analysts and everything talking about this is a bad look. This is one of the first times I've seen a lot of analysts and experts and boxers agree on one fight. I hear people out here saying that some people just want to see Tank lose. Bro, that's the biggest lie ever. I'm tired of people saying that in boxing too. That's the biggest lie I've ever heard in boxing. You just want to see Tank lose. First of all, why would people want to see Tank just lose when Canelo has lost already and we still watch him fight? This is how you know these dudes don't watch boxing. They just worrying about one fighter. Like, just worry about your fighter, bro, and go away. Like, go over there with you and him together, and that's it. Like, leave the boxing fans alone and just go over there. We just seen Canelo lose twice, badly. And we still watch him. We seen Anthony Joshua lose by knockout, still watch him. Wilder done lost by knockout, stoppage, still watch him. So what are we talking about? There ain't that many people doing what those guys are doing anyway, so why would I stop watching them? Because a couple of other guys get knockouts? I'm not a type of boxing fan like that. We have boxing fans walking around now that feel like because Tank Davis is knocking everybody out, I'm not going to give the other champions credit because I'm just so selfish in boxing that I can't give the other fighters credit. And I'm just going to say Tank is the best and he'll beat everybody. Nothing wrong with that, but don't try to force that on us. Like, bro, we just reporting the news right now. Until the fight gets here, then that kind of energy will come out. But when people be around, like, we just talking about news, like, on days like this, and people are trying to, like, force it on you, like, oh, man, Tank, he'll knock out all these guys. Okay, when he get in the ring, though. Then he gets in the ring with Lamont Roach, now nobody want to talk about it. That's why I don't want to talk about certain things like that. Because when it happens, then nobody has no answers for it. So that shows me the whole time you wasn't talking about breaking down no fights. You were talking about how you felt about how he is as a person and a boxer. That's cool. But you can't sit around with that guy and troll everybody in every fan base and think that people just gonna sit for that. Nah, we ain't going for that. Too much trolling been going on. You didn't look like the best. You got outboxed. You got a lot of people giving excuses for you right now. People talking about grease, hair, and a knee. They just basically exposing everything we say about people who are not fans of boxing. That's the only thing they really can talk about. The only thing that people know about, some of these people, the only thing they do know about is braids, hair grease, and taking a knee or not. That's it. They don't know about none of the punches that were thrown in the fight. Why would they talk about that? And I'm not being funny, I'm dead serious. Ain't nobody talking about what happened in the fight. They talking about punches, this and thrown and everything else, but man, ain't nobody talking about what happened in the fight. I seen what happened. I haven't heard nobody break it down yet. So when they get to that area, when they start talking about that, then I'll take it serious what everybody's saying. But right now, people just coming up with a whole bunch of stuff, man. It's cool, man. I'm a fan of Tank too. Did I want Tank to go out there and look sloppy and get beat down and destroyed? Absolutely not. Absolutely. I feel bad for Tank right now because people are trying to come up with reasons why he looked like he has looked in certain situations. He looked like this against Haney when he was sparring him. And first thing everybody said was, oh, he ain't sparring 4 months. Bro, people go to extreme to find out this information like they just criminal investigators or something. Like this is Law and Order or something like that. Like it'd be a lot. They go through a lot to actually, figure out this information. Oh, well, they said during the sparring, he wasn't in shape when he sparred. Man, he looked the same way against Lamont Roach, man. What they got to do with being in shape? He had no answers. Period. Same fighter he was in that sparring match. This ain't got nothing to do with not liking the guy or wanting to see him lose or hating on him. We talking about boxing, right? Okay, keep it boxing. Everybody trying to get personal about boxing. That's why I said, bro, I'm going to just keep it boxing. Everybody else has been keeping it personal. Keep it personal. That's why you get mad about when somebody breaking down fights. You get mad because you keeping it personal. It ain't personal. But they make it personal, though. That's why I love what Turkey Al-Sheikh is doing. 50-50 fights really show you that it ain't personal. It's just boxing. But to try to make it seem like Lamont Roach ain't really go out there and handle business, nah, y'all making it personal. They need to go ahead and get it, Tank this loss. Go ahead and give Lamont Roach his credit. So he ain't got to sit up here and explain to his grandkids why he ain't get a win and then after knocking down Tank taking a knee. Like, bro, y'all really out here taking people's memories away. Like, this is insane out here. This is really bad. I mean, you know what kind of money that dude would have been making just from beating Tank? Straight up. They said it's the Tank sweepstakes, right? Well, okay. You get a draw in the sweepstakes, you getting draws now. So ain't no reason to get a ticket because you drawing blank, so why would you even get a ticket in the sweepstakes? And this is why people complain about guys fighting certain opponents. Because you in your prime, you cutting corners, then when it get tough, then people got to explain a whole bunch of stuff. And people might feel like I'm going in or nothing. Bro, they have said so much crap about Terrence Crawford ducking guys over the years. They've said crap. They said so much crap about Crawford lately. How he's a bum. He ain't fought nobody. They say stuff about Devin Haney to the point where dudes done built their whole channel off of disrespecting him. I seen people still posting his mom on Twitter today. Like posting his dude mom, bro. And part of the reason why is because of this guy who this weekend was crying about some hair grease. A big reason why. Somebody posting people's mom on Twitter. Bro, y'all lucky I'm chilling right now. And I'm not really pressing the gas on this guy and really roasting and embarrassing him right now. But that's embarrassing what people doing out here now. He done led a whole culture of, oh yeah, boxing fans who go out and post people's mom now. Man, what the hell? What do these dudes got going? These grown men doing this? I'm sitting there looking at this. I'm like, is this really on my homepage? And I don't even use Twitter. I'm going on there. I'm like, they posting a video of somebody's mom on Twitter, a boxer's mom. And the dude is a Tank fan. Are you just now doing this after the performance he had this weekend? Obviously, y'all think that that was just a slip up this weekend. So keep trolling. Keep trolling. Keep trolling. Because when y'all leave him out here hanging like y'all did Adrian Bronner, because I know that's the same fans. So when y'all leave him hanging out here like y'all did Adrian Bronner, just know I'm gonna be over here saying the same thing I'm saying right now. So the same fans that out here jumping off the bandwagon already with Tank, because I seen y'all do it with Eastside Cruz. He got booed during the Eastside Cruz fight. I've been saying that since I made this channel. I've been telling everybody, he got booed during the Eastside Cruz fight. People like, man, they booed Tank this weekend. Duh. Tank ain't got no real fans. Trust me, a real fan would be saying the stuff I'm saying right now. Now everybody trying to say this stuff after he looked bad against Roach. Nah, don't try to sit up here and try to figure out what's wrong with him and everything else. Nah, you said 8th round knockout. You said 5th round, this round, okay? That's what you watching him for the knockout. So when the knockout don't come, you ain't qualified to explain why not. You just watching him for the knockouts. That's what you here for. It ain't no reason for these guys to fight Tank, man, to be honest with you. What they gonna get out of it? Lamont Roach just went out there and did everything that people said he couldn't do. Walked through every shot that Tank didn't run. Walked the man down every round. And he ain't getting, people talking about some, oh, well, he got my respect, your respect. I can't pay no bills with no respect. These boxing fans be tripping, talking about some, oh yeah, he got my respect. Nah, that mean you gonna stop disrespecting him. That's what that mean. That mean you been tweeting and disrespecting him. And putting up pictures of Martin getting beat up by Hitman Hearns, and then you sitting around acting like, well, he got my respect now because he went 12 with Tank. Oh, weak boxing fans, man. That's why y'all want a rematch. Don't know what happened in the fight. Don't know how to break it down or nothing. The man lost. That's what happened. That's why Tank asking for a rematch. Why you think Tank Davis is asking for a rematch? You think he'll be asking for a rematch if he felt like he won the fight? Why do you think Tank is okay with a rematch? Tank ain't never been okay with even talking about Shakur Stevenson lately. But he okay with talking about a rematch. If Tank was mad about it, he feel like he won the fight, he ain't finna jump up and just, that's what I'm saying, bro. These people don't know the guy like that. I don't know him personally, but I know from his behavior that he ain't jumped up with Eastside Cruz and said, hey, we can fight tomorrow. Matter of fact, he told Eastside Cruz last year, quit messaging me or bothering me. I'm not finna fight you. That's what he said last year. So he just up and ready to fight Lamont Roach. I thought everybody said they thought Eastside Cruz possibly won that fight. So y'all telling me Lamont Roach was closer and it was a draw, right? So how close can somebody get? Man, this is crazy. At the end of the day, man, I ain't got to see no rematch, man. I respect what Tank does in the sport of boxing. I really do, but a new generation always come along. Always. Once Floyd hit 30, it started getting tough. And Tank should be well rested because he hasn't really been fighting like that. He got the same amount of fights as Devin, don't he? So yeah, he ain't been fighting like that. And it might be a loss. What's crazy is Tank might end up with a loss. And Devin Haney might end up being 31-0, 32-0 in a couple of months. And this man might be 31-0. I'm at 30-0. I'm at 30-1 as far as Tank. 30-1. Straight up loss. It's sad that boxing got to come to this point, but, you know, it's sad to be honest with you. To be real, like, why would somebody want to put somebody in boxing like this if you know that the A side is just that strong in boxing to the point where it's like, the A side that strong? Like, bro, I've been watching boxing a long time. Dudes ain't bringing in money like that to the point where it's like, yo, we got to go with this guy every time. Nah, dudes ain't bringing in money like that. I don't care what nobody say. If Canelo can get a loss against Bivol and everything else, yeah. Need to go ahead and do that. That's why it trips me out when people sit up here and be like, man, I know how to score the Haney and Loma fight. You know how to score that fight, but you don't know how to score Lamont Roach versus Tank. Even in the Eastside Cruiser Tank fight, people didn't know how to score that fight. Only thing they said was, oh, Tank had a hurt wrist. His wrist was hurt. Okay, what that had to do with the fight, though? Then Pitbull won a rematch. So every fight that goes 12 with him, he ain't trying to run it back. He had to wait a couple of days to actually figure out if he gonna do it or not. Devin and Ryan, they said, man, we could rematch next before they even got out of the ring. That's why all these people talking about, man, I need to see a rematch. I ain't got a rematch. He got a rematch, Ryan Garcia. Bro, he already said it on video. My bad, you ain't watched the fight, so you ain't know that. My bad. It was a lot of guys ain't watched the Haney versus Garcia fight live. You know, because they casuals, they thought the fight wasn't gonna be good, so you know, that's why a lot of people ain't talking about that's why they asked Devin Haney to rematch Ryan Garcia. They didn't know he said it like a year ago. But yeah, man. Right now, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I know people don't like when I say this, but it is what it is. Ryan Garcia look like he got more power than Tank right now. I just seen hundreds of people last night on Twitter liking a tweet that said, let me find it, that Ryan Garcia will put, what's up, PD? What's going on? I seen a comment last night where somebody said Ryan Garcia will put Lamont Roach to sleep. I told y'all, Tank has created a monster that is going to be able to, that's going to replace him. He created something that's going to replace him. They're going to end up replacing him with Ryan Garcia. It's the only one I can see right now. It's the only one I can find. But yeah, they running around. Hey, let me get this real quick. They go running around talking about Lamont Roach gonna get Ryan Garcia gonna get Lamont Roach up out of there. But yeah, they're gonna end up probably counting that win as a loss though against Tank, man. I know a lot of people think that's not real. It can't happen. They'll end up counting that as a loss. It's bad right now. Right now, the integrity of the sport is on the line. A lot of people, just off the fact that this happened with Lamont Roach, a lot of fighters will actually say, I don't know if I want to fight Tank. This right here would give all the fighters a reason not to fight him. I know Shakur Stevenson and a couple of other guys will still do it. But it's a lot of fighters right now that's like let's just say if Loma was thinking about it, this would make Loma be like, nah, I'm good on that. He gonna be like, I do the same thing that Lamont Roach did and get robbed. So this is a lot bigger than what people realize. This could stop Tank from getting fights in the future. I'm telling you, Tank a smart guy, man. They know what time it is right now. I heard people talking about he'll fight something about some Jake Paul or something like that. I mean, if he want to risk his safety fighting Jake Paul, that's cool too, but Lamont Roach rematch, that's what everybody thinking about right now. The man had a bad performance. It's Monday right now, and you got people asking this man to rematch Lamont Roach right now. Like, people are so in shock. And like I said, and I realize now that a lot of people be getting too twisted on the weekend. A lot of people are getting too drunk and too loaded trying to watch these fights. Because it take them 2 days later to figure out what actually happened. Why are y'all waiting 2 days later to ask somebody to rematch somebody? So these people just watching the fight. They ain't paying attention at all. That's why I said, man, scoring fights in boxing is going to ruin boxing, man. If we don't learn how to score a fight soon, even no matter how good a fight going to be, it's going to ruin it. They're going to ruin boxing by not knowing how to score a fight. No matter how good a fight is going to be, it could be the best fight on earth. If they don't score it right, they're going to ruin the sport of boxing. That's why at this point, even though I don't like the AI scoring that Turkey Al-Sheikh got, man, at this point, man, the regular scoring is worse. The scoring we have now is worse. The judges we have now are bad. Very bad. The referee bad. This man took a whole knee down and now they talking about Ryan Garcia will knock out Lamont Roach in under 6 rounds. They forgetting the fact that Lamont Roach was actually able to hurt Tank. So according to the way they break down boxing, that would mean Lamont Roach has more power according to them. Because according to them, Ryan Garcia got more power than Tank by this tweet I'm looking at. Yep, man, that's why you don't cheerlead for certain people. That's why in boxing you don't cheerlead. And Ryan said Lamont Roach won the fight. Said Lamont Roach got robbed. I need to go ahead and find that. This dude took up for Ryan and then Ryan throw you under the bus. Straight clown. Never take up for no dude who finna throw me under the bus. Let me see, where is it at? Yeah, he said Lamont Roach won that. Let me see. I can't believe they're holding the fight at Times Square. That's gonna be crazy. I wish I can go. Let me see. He said Lamont Roach won that. Not calling this. This the guy that everybody say be right about everything. This is everybody's spiritual leader right here. They said Lamont Roach won that. Not calling that knockdown is the most wildest thing I've ever seen in boxing. That type of stuff make boxing look bad. Dang, Tank. Your boy done threw you under the bus like that? Yeah, and yeah. I thought Tank and Ryan was friends, man. What's going on with that? Man. Look, AI got some good excuses up there. Can Roach legally challenge ruling? Can eye irritation change rules? Who told you about an eye? Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, man, this is definitely gonna hurt the sport in a lot of ways. Ryan said this is the most wild thing he's ever seen. So, and we know he's seen some wild stuff according to what he said. And he said Lamont Roach won that fight. Another professional fighter who thinks that Lamont Roach won. So why does everybody who fought Tank feel like Lamont Roach won and did better than them? So Ryan Garcia is a guy who fought Tank. Why would he want Lamont Roach to get up? Ryan Garcia funny, boy. I like the way he play with these fans, man. They be trying to be on his side about everything, and he be all over the place. He is literally all over the place. That's the funny part about it. And usually he says crazy things that people don't agree with, and it's funny. Because people are arguing about whether it's a knockdown or not. Obviously, he thinks it's a knockdown, and Lamont Roach won. So from what I see, it looked like he thinks Lamont Roach won even without the knockdown. Yeah, like I said, right now, the people who need to see a rematch for this Tank Davis fight are people who think that Tank Davis actually either won the fight or they feel like Lamont Roach ain't got a chance ever in the last fight or the next fight. I don't know what fight y'all was seeing, but y'all putting a lot of hope into that left hand. I'm going to just say that. That left hand got a lot of hope. Because if the man goes out there and gets outboxed again, and they rob the man again, you're going to have a lot of people that's going to stop watching boxing. So y'all might as well move on. I've seen people say now they're going to stop watching boxing. Is it because they don't like Tank? Absolutely not. As much as people want to say dumb stuff like that. It's not because they don't like Tank. It's because, hey man, things looking shaky right now. They playing, it look like somebody playing for the home team. And people wondering why I'm up here questioning everything that go on in boxing. Now everybody want to question everything now because Tank went out there and took a knee. But when there all this other stuff going on, when you catching guys with this and this, nobody want to question nothing. Y'all more concerned about hair grease than PEDs. Yeah, man, get these dudes up out of boxing immediately. I'll still support Tank. He can have 5 losses. I ain't that type of fan. So maybe some of these things gotta happen for to get the real fans in boxing. There's too many fake fans in boxing right now. Maybe some things have to happen to change up and get the fake fans out of boxing who just want to see knockouts. That's cool. I mean, everybody got to start somewhere. I want to see knockouts too. But y'all coming way too far. Like, it's way too far at this point. Like, now people getting robbed and can't get knockdowns counted. Nah. And the way y'all made a fuss about guys holding on to referees last year, man, please. Dudes is knocked out, getting up on their feet, grabbing on to the opponent or whatever, and they talking about, man, he need to be disqualified. And Tank was holding all Saturday. That's something that people don't talk about. Tank was holding the entire fight. Lamont Roach was not holding in that fight. Lamont Roach wasn't sitting up there grabbing Tank like, man, let me get some rest. Y'all notice that? Only certain fighters they say that be holding. If it was Benavidez that would have been fighting this weekend, they would have talked about how he was holding. If it was Haney fighting this weekend, let's put a clinch counter on there and see how many times he clinches in this rematch with Kambosos. Like, why would I want to fight on your network again? You definitely need to get rid of boxing. ESPN so biased. Putting on clinch counters. Then this dude this weekend leaning on Roach half of the fight. And people sitting up here acting like, man, yeah, man, he did enough in the fight. He did enough by leaning on a dude throwing some big shots. Come on, man. Go to UFC with all that. For real. That's the only place I know where you can lean on a guy and punch him and get scoring. Scared to even throw combinations. Like, what are we talking about? That man was getting out of the kitchen ASAP. He did not want to throw no combinations. There ain't even no reason to break down that fight. People know what they saw. But yeah, Lamont Roach needs to get this win, though. He needs to get this counted as a win. I done broke down all the scenarios. There's no reason why he should have to go into this next fight without this fight being counted as a win. As a draw, it makes no sense. Even with this happening the way it happened. It's a bad look. It's a very bad look. And I told people leading up to this fight, I said, man, Tank keeps saying something about not being put on the meme. He don't want to be put on the meme. People just overlooking that. They're like, oh, he's just talking. Bro, this dude's a lot smarter than y'all think. That's one thing I realized. That's why I said, I don't know if they his fans or not, but the people who say they fans of him, they be talking like he's super dumb. Like he don't know anything that's going on. Like he just a meathead. He's just going in there boxing. He don't even know who he boxing. He just going in there boxing and he just leaving out and that's it. Nah, he making calculated moves. He know what time it is. But he'll be good for boxing once they let him, you know, get treated like everybody else and get the same criticism. Once they embrace his good side and bad side, yeah, he gonna be a lot better in boxing. He gonna make boxing a lot better. But they want to try to, even like Canelo. Y'all notice how Canelo just recently started talking so much and how that make his personality a lot better? But even back then, they didn't want Canelo to talk a lot. They just wanted him to be a quiet guy. You know, so a lot of times they doing too much to try to make these guys into something they really not. Lamont Roach is an underdog who goes out there and beats guys when you don't think so. And they trying to change the storyline right now. It's a bad look, man. This is one of the reasons why I watch boxing. I don't always want to see the favorite win. I'm not watching the fight to see the favorite lose. But I'm also not watching those to see the favorite win every time. You want to also see an underdog win sometimes. That's the reason why people watch boxing. We ain't trying to sit up here and argue about no hair grease and stuff in boxing. Like, this is terrible. This is bad. We let too many infested people into the sport of boxing. You know, Lamont Roach, he's a good fighter, man. Very good fighter. Deserves more credit than people give him. But these fans, man, they don't give credit to anybody. This shows right here that Shakur Stevenson came out and did all this, knowing they say he'll get knocked out in 5 rounds or whatever. He can come out and do everything Lamont Roach did, and they gonna say, "Oh yeah, you know, Tank, that was a draw for Tank, or that was a win." Yeah, Tank won that. That was a draw. So if you Shakur Stevenson, and I know he'll still fight Tank, but man, you're gonna have to be careful about that. These people don't know how to score a fight, man. Who knows? If Terrence Crawford would have went 12 rounds with Earl Spence, they probably would have said that was a draw. These people don't know how to score a fight, though. That's why I said that's going to be a problem in boxing in the future. It really is. It's going to be a huge problem. Because never in history have you seen people agree on a draw. I'm talking about the way that everybody agreeing on the draw. I was talking about Greg Hackett versus Brian Norman Sr. being a draw recently. Everybody like, no. Shoot. They like, no. I'm like, man, it could have been a draw at least. But on this fight, where it's a lot more going on, a lot more technical, different styles, dudes taking knees and stuff, all of a sudden this fight is a draw, and that makes sense? Nah, man, y'all, I ain't going for that one. Nah, I've been around way too long. Nah, I ain't going for that one. Nah, I see what time it is. Everybody waving a red flag, but that's what I'm saying. All that trolling, bro, I already knew last year. I was like, yep. As soon as I seen Keyshawn get that knockout over Lemos, I said, it's time now. It's time now. You can't be the top dog forever. Lamont Roach got a family. He got kids just like Tank do. Get what? He trying to feed them just as well. He ain't coming out there to lay down. That's why I said people talking about we have fighters in America that's sitting out here ducking Tank, and don't nobody want to fight Tank, and Tank, he can't find a tough fighter to fight, and all these guys ducking, and he just want to be undisputed. It don't look like Lamont Roach been ducking. So Lamont Roach just went out there and proved all my points about all that ducking stuff people been talking about as far as Tank. Lamont Roach just proved there ain't nobody out here ducking no Tank Davis. Shout out to Lamont Roach. Cause he definitely gonna be from this day forward, yeah. He definitely one of the ones. He an elite fighter. Top of the line. One of the best. Yeah. That's how we gonna do that. Cause I know everybody gonna try to give him this win, so he one of the best. He's somebody that Tank need the rematch. I'm hearing people say he need the rematch, Lamont Roach. They ain't saying Lamont Roach need to rematch Tank. They saying Tank need to rematch Lamont Roach. Yeah, man. That's why I don't be doing that trolling, bro. I told y'all, reputation get gone like that. These people ain't really your fans. Your fans is people like me. I'm a Tate Davis fan. The people who jumping out the bandwagon right now, talking about he wasn't focused, those ain't your fans. Cause Tank no doggone well, oh yeah, I was focused. You got people in the Tank family that sit up here and say right now, oh yeah, they ain't gonna sit up here and be like, nah, he wasn't focused. I ain't hear none of the coaches going at how unfocused he wasn't. They just knew what it was. Lamont Roach, he came to fight. I mean, even they'll tell you. But people just believe the hype too much. That's what it really is. They've been believing the hype way too much. Way too much. But Lamont Roach is the way he's stepping up right now, and he was possibly gonna fight Shakur Stevenson next. So really, he's sitting back like, man, I don't care what happened. I'm good. Trust me, he good. If anybody can find a big fight right now, it's Lamont Roach. Even with everything that happened. A lot of people right now will sit up here and watch Lamont Roach versus Shakur Stevenson. It is a big reason why Tank Davis should fight Lamont Roach next, and that's one of the reasons why. If Shakur Stevenson goes out here and fights Lamont Roach and beats him easily, that's going to be a bad look for Tank. Tank's not going to be A-side no more. And it put him in a bad spot. Because now you got to find something to do with Eastside Cruz. And people say, why Eastside Cruz? He ain't got nothing to do with that. Well, let me just say this. If you don't want Shakur to fight Lamont Roach right now, you definitely don't want them other guys to fight Eastside Cruz. And from what I seen, Keyshawn Davis said he want to fight him for a belt. Or it could be no belt, I don't know. Said he want to fight him though. And I haven't seen Eastside Cruz get too many offers for titles, so depending on how he feels, but yeah, that's pretty serious though. That's definitely serious. But yeah, Tank Davis, man, he right now, this ruling as far as him getting this loss, it's very big for boxing. Not to say Tank need a loss right now, but it's big as far as, man, what do we got the rules for? Like the rules got to be enforced. Like this a very serious sport, man. You know what I'm saying? Some guys get hit and never remember anything from the fight. Like Amir Khan was saying one fight when he fought Maidana, he said he don't remember nothing that happened in that fight. Until he watch it, he'll start remembering small things, but his memory not good from that fight. And that money he made from that fight probably spent already. So how much was it really worth getting in the ring like that? I done got in the ring with Tank Davis, stood in front of him for 30 minutes. When they talking about I did enough, good enough for a draw, man, please. Waste of time to fight this guy at this point. It really is. And what you're going to do now is you're going to have people asking for more money to fight this man, to unify and to fight him. And at that point, you're going to be selling your O away. Yeah, this been happening too much lately. I'm like, man, got a rematch clause and everything in there. No, we gonna make it a draw. Then he talking about, man, why I got booed? Man, for a lot of reasons. You was in the ring playing around with him, making faces and talking to the crowd. Then later on, he's talking about, oh yeah, some grease or hair with it. Man, come on, man. Stop it. But this is the fighter they troll everybody for, though. No problem supporting the fighter. You should support all fighters. But you should troll for no fighters. This shouldn't be a guy you should be trolling for. Somebody got to answer for this. I know y'all ain't been trolling me for this. I mean, you can't even like a fighter who's a guy that could face Tank. If you say you like Haney or Shakur or Keyshawn Davis, oh, they get knocked out in this round and they ducking. Like, man, come on, man. Y'all made all them fairy tales up for this dude. Ain't nobody ducking, ain't nobody hiding. Ain't nobody been ducking. Everybody just selling tickets, basically doing that. That's free promotion. Ain't nobody been ducking. Lamont Roach just proved that just now. Ain't nobody been ducking. Can we please get that understood too? Because I know everybody don't want to talk about that. They like, oh, that's old news. No, it ain't. Ain't nobody ducking. Lamont Roach just proved that ain't nobody ducking Tank Davis. All them young guys y'all be trolling, leave them guys alone, man. They out here trying to make a career for themselves. They not pulling up 130s to 135, going 12 rounds and then blaming some hair grease. Like, give the young guys who actually going out here fighting top competition, give them their credit. You ain't got to troll everybody. Well, Tank said he cracked Devin Haney in sparring. Oh, okay. What about Lamont Roach? Did he crack Lamont Roach in 12-round fight? Why didn't Tank Davis crack Lamont Roach in a 12-round fight? The fight that you actually seen. And they just now saying that Haney and Tank fight. The fights that you actually seen. Why you can't explain what happened in those fights? I ain't really heard nobody break down the fight from this weekend yet. I'm still waiting. I'm kind of like waiting on somebody to really break it down. I'm not finna go through all that, bro. I know most of y'all don't care. Trust me. I know most of y'all don't care. If you gotta look at the comfy box and see that man ain't been the way he was jabbing, if you gotta look that up to see that, it ain't nothing to talk about. I promise, I looked at that Tank fight versus Roach and I wasn't expecting no power punches because I knew wasn't none coming. It wasn't none coming, man. There wasn't none coming. The only thing I thought in my mind was if it go 12, he gonna lose. He not finna go out here and just win 7 rounds just off throwing the left hand. That ain't gonna work. Was I wrong? They gave him 6 rounds for throwing the left hand. That's why I said, man. That's why I said what I said. See, and that's the thing about it that people got to realize with Ryan Garcia too. Lamont Roach just proved my point. It ain't got to be a guy who comes out and it ain't got to be Devin Haney to get Ryan Garcia. It ain't got to be Shakur Stevenson, but it's gonna be somebody that's gonna slip up and get him. And it's gonna expose what I be saying. Because trust me, that time gonna come. It's gonna come for a lot of guys like that. Tank ain't the only one. But people that troll like this, I ain't never seen dudes who was really the best troll like this. I think this level of trolling is extreme. Guys who really the best, they don't really do this. They don't really do all that. I'm just being honest. They gotta overcompensate for something they know they ain't got. When you're a one-dimensional fighter and you just gotta rely on the left, you might have to do some trolling. And some other stuff as well. But the stuff that everybody said that don't matter, we're gonna figure out how much it matters the next couple of years in boxing. They gotta stand on everything they said. And Lamont Roach already said a couple people was out here don't know boxing. And I definitely agree with him. These people do not know boxing. Definitely don't know boxing. I'm glad he called him out too. Because people was going in on Lamont Roach hard recently. I know he was saying a lot of people was giving him credit as far as, I know he wasn't going to go in on people who was giving him credit as far as being a good boxer. I mean, if you pick Tank, that's cool. He wasn't mad about that. People going the extra mile to say he trash though? Yeah, bro. Yeah, very disrespectful they do. And that's a boxer saying that. That's not me just on here saying that because I want to push buttons. Lamont Roach came out and said these people don't know boxing. He said it himself. That man deserved that win though, man. I can't believe they sat over there and did Lamont Roach that way. But if he go out here and get this victory in a rematch, I mean, would it make much of a difference? I don't know what he'll have to do. Will he need a knockout? Because if Tank get a loss right now, like they looking at doing a ruling for Tank to get a loss. Get his draw overturned to a loss. So it possibly can happen, but if that does happen, yeah, here it goes right here when Lamont Roach said it. If it does happen, I think Tank will be a lot more focused in the second fight. I'm not gonna lie. But he would have to get a knockout though. I don't see him going out there trying to outbox Roach. I just don't. You know, styles make up for certain things, and like people said, they fought before in the past. And a lot of people said that Roach was familiar with Tank. That's why he was able to get him that way. But nah, man. I don't think so. Tank just only had the left hand. And when he couldn't get Roach up out of there, or he couldn't hurt him, he didn't have nothing else to go to. And that's what I was worried about going into the fight. Tank got a good right hook, but he ain't throwing the right hook. So you only going to the fight with a left hand? You might as well have your arm tied behind your back. So basically, from what I seen, Tank was fighting Lamont Roach with his arm tied behind his back last fight. And it's really hard to give him 7 rounds like that. It really is. And a lot more people think he lost than I thought too. I thought like only half or just a few people really here or there, but a lot of people felt like he lost the fight. So it's a lot of pressure on him to have the rematch. So I feel like he's going to push for the rematch himself. He going to tell Al or whoever, I'm not doing nothing else unless it's a rematch, because there's too many people on his page and a lot of his fan base asking him to rematch people, and they never asked him to rematch nobody. They asked him to rematch Eastside Cruz, but his fan base ain't the same way then like it is now. He got way more fans now since he fought Ryan Garcia. Way more fans. Different fan base too. Different fan base too, so they not gonna give him a pass as far as this rematch. They never asked Tank to fight anybody. Tank gotta realize that his fans have never really asked him, hey man, we want to see you fight this guy. But for all them to come out and say, hey, that Roach fight need to be next, or I'm not watching the next fight. For people to come out saying that, Now his back against the wall. It could bring the best out of him though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not just coming out here to play one side about things. It could bring the best out of Tank. This is something he definitely needs. I'm gonna be real with you. I would rather see Tank uncomfortable than comfortable. I think Tank uncomfortable would be dangerous, especially if he got in the ring with Lamont Roach again. I think he was a little too comfortable in this going into this fight. I think with him with a little more edge, not really friendly with Lamont Roach. Yeah, it's definitely gonna make for a good storyline. I don't know about a trilogy, but he gonna be in his best form. And he knows that he possibly can get a loss though. That's the crazy part that threw me off today. I'm like, Tank feel like he can get a loss to Roach? Like he feel like he can get the draw overturned. It could happen today, tomorrow. They talking about it on a Monday, so it just shows how things is getting expedited right now, happening kind of fast. But yeah, a lot of people impressed by Lamont Roach. A lot of people got respect for his performance, taking all the power shots from Tank. Nobody expected that, and he's a 130. I was saying that recently. I was like, you're taking a lot of risks fighting a guy who's 130. He take all your shots. It's gonna drop your value. It really is. I feel like Tank was taking one too many chances fighting 130s. And Lamont Roach was just a bad choice to take. That shouldn't be a guy you want to jump in front of and see if you can knock him out because, like everybody said, he's familiar with you. And he's a 130. Now they want to see the rematch. Yeah, I didn't know that a lot of people was asking for this rematch like that though. I'm talking about Monday morning. People are like, yeah, this rematch needs to happen. 500,000 people looked at his tweet in like 2 hours. So we know Tank has a huge fan base, but when you have 500,000 people tuning in, like, hey, are you gonna rematch Roach? That's high demand right there. So, you know, they talk about pay-per-view sales and everything. That's a highly anticipated pay-per-view. I heard some people say that fight is more requested than Ryan versus Haney. I'm not sure because the fight just happened. The fact that he brought up Haney versus Ryan, that still shows that it's a very hyped up fight. So I don't know right now. If they're still talking about this Roach and Tank fight in 3 days, yeah, it's a bigger fight. If they're not talking about it, it's probably not a bigger fight. Probably not, because we haven't even heard the pay-per-view sales yet. I would like to know how many people was actually watching the fight. That's going to be something that's going to come out during all this other news, but probably in like a week and a half. Should be like in a week, though. But that's going to be other news that comes out. How many pay-per-views did it sell? If I had to guess how many pay-per-views it sold, I don't know. I would say around 4, but it could be 3 though. It could be 3. I would say 4, but it could be 3. It could be. I'm not sure. Because it wasn't really that. I mean, the fight was hyped up. I'm not going to lie. But I don't know. It was like one of those weekends where it felt kind of flat though still. Yeah, I don't know why. Fight felt like a Friday, to be honest with you. Oh, you talking about Lamont Roach? How you feel about the draw? Oh, he said, man, he been putting out tweets about the draw. talking about he don't agree with it. Like he feel like he won the fight, especially with a knockdown. If you look at the knockdown, he feel like he won. That's why I feel like he won before the knockdown. That's why a lot of people just looking at the fight like, oh well, he had a knockdown in it. If he would have gotten knocked down, it would have been a win. Nah, if you score the fight, you'll see that Tank went out there boxing to the point where he was winning 7 rounds or 6 rounds. Tank wasn't fighting that type of fight. Tank was boxing a lot more when he was fighting Eastside Cruz. But he wasn't boxing like that in this fight. He was fighting two different styles. Yeah, a lot of people act like Tank was in here in boxing. Like, yeah, he was boxing, but not to the point where people try to make a scene when he was in there scoring. Like, when you're a boxer, you got to score too. And you got to know how to score. That's why Usyk is so good. That's why at a certain point, all you got to do, really, all you can do is knock out a guy like Usyk. But he knows how to score a fight well. So you can't have a guy who gets all his fights on knockouts, come in there and, you know, does the minimum against a guy who's a boxer. And he's on the back foot most of the time. He's going backwards. And you say that he wins the fight or it's a draw. That rarely happens. Never happens, to be honest with you. So I know Lamont Roach is upset about that decision. Because he would have been the first guy to defeat Tank Davis. So now somebody go out there and knock out Tank. Or knock him down or whatever. And they knock down the count versus Tank. How is that going to look for Lamont Roach? Because right now, if I'm Lamont Roach, I'm looking like, okay, they don't look at me as a real champion in boxing. I'm not saying speaking for him. I'm just saying if I was him, I'd be like, they treating Tank like the real champion, but I heard I was a champion coming into this fight, you know, 130 champion. Now they acting like I'm not a champion. Because you got to do more and everything. I'm hearing people say you got to take it from the champ. Shoot, I'm a champion. Like I just said, Lamont Roach a champion, right? You ain't got to do more. You just got to win the fight. Win more rounds. That's it. But yeah, that's crazy though. That's crazy. And the way boxing works, dudes can go out and lose their next 2 or 3 fights. And people will say, well, that's the reason why he ain't beat Tank. He wasn't good enough anyways. That's the bad thing about boxing. It could just be your day. But if you don't get the win that day and they talking about running a rematch back, come on, man. A fight is already hard enough the first time. Now you talking about we need to see it over again? And if he get a knockdown the next fight, guess what? They're going to count his knockdown. It's a whole bunch of stuff that's bad about this rematch. I'm going to be real with you. I know I'm not trying to harp on it too much. It's way too many things that's bad about the rematch before it even get made. Like everything that went wrong for Lamont Roach, it can go right for Tank. Like, I mean, I got a whole knockdown that didn't get counted. But let me go fight Tank again. Let me take a knee. They're going to count it as a knockdown. And from that point on, you done. So yeah, that's crazy to me, man. I don't know. I don't know what more you can do. You really playing with fire at that point. It's almost like you got to go out there and do more than what you did last time. You're going to end up getting knocked out. Yeah, that's crazy that dudes got to get in front of the Tank and do the most. You're going to end up getting knocked out eventually. So at this point right now, it looks like they like, hey, just See how we can get Roach to do the most. Fall into a trap, knock him out. But man, if he get this loss, if Tank end up getting his loss and Roach end up getting his win, it's gonna be crazy in boxing. It's gonna be crazy. I feel like the news is getting around a lot right now, though. You got a lot of high-profile people discussing this fight as a potential loss for Tank that it should have been. And the reason I think it's bad is because you got so many people talking about it. And the hair grease thing made it bad, made it go viral a little bit. So, you know, that's a whole story now. That and the hair grease. Even the hairstylist went viral. So, yeah, man, a lot of times it's good to have a lot of fans like that, but it can be a downfall too, man. Because a lot of these people don't really know the ins and outs of boxing. So when serious stuff actually happens and they try to come up with reasons why it happened because they don't cover boxing every day, and they try to tell people who actually cover boxing every day what's actually going on, that's when boxers start to get a lot of criticism and bad publicity. And that's what Tank gonna get right now, because the fans he has that have like a big following, they don't really know how to talk about the things that's going on around him right now. They don't really know how to explain it. The only thing I've heard people say is, you know, it wasn't a knockdown, or he had this in his eye, or whatever. There's really nothing you can explain about something we saw already. So whoever does that, you know, it definitely doesn't make sense. You can tell they got agendas. But this is going to happen a lot more, though. These are real 50-50 fights we having in boxing this year. You can say that Lamont Roach is probably not the toughest fight that most people would think Tank have or could have. But right now, it's the toughest fight he's had. So it's a lot of fighters out here who could upset a lot of your favorite fighters, or some of the guys you think that's the best. It could be anybody's day. So that's why you got to make sure that guys is on weight and everything else, because all that stuff matters. Everything matters, trust me. It's been going on for a long time. They've been doing this. They know certain things matter in fights and certain advantages you can have. And a guy taking a knee and running to a corner is a huge advantage. And people didn't realize that, but that's a huge advantage to have in boxing. But if this situation doesn't get fixed, it's going to be a black eye on the sport. Not because people want to see Tank lose or anything, but like I said, it's not going to make any sense about what somebody does in the future. It could be somebody that goes out there and fights. Let's just say it can be somebody that goes out there and fights Tank Davis, drops him, wins the fight. But then people gonna go back and say, well, Lamont Roach did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna be a bad look overall. Just being real. It's gonna be a very bad look. That's why that situation happened with Tyson Fury when he ended up getting knocked down by Ngannou. They're like, well, yeah, Tyson Fury outboxed him. But even if they wanted to give Ngannou the knockdown, it would have looked bad, because we done seen Tyson Fury get knocked down multiple times in a fight. So to give a guy the win just because of one knockdown, That's why they couldn't do something like that. But it sets a bad precedent, though. It really does. I'm talking about real bad. And it shows you that, a lot of people don't bring that up when it's, and the crazy thing is, Tank was actually talking about that recently. Man, what if I get robbed as far as the scoring, and I don't want to fight over there in Saudi because they might get me and cheat me out my scores or whatever on scorecard. Bro, that's happening over here. Like, it sounds like to me he worrying about way too much, because that's happening over here right now. Ain't nobody getting credit for fighting that guy like that. Lamont Roach getting credit, but what is that worth right now? He ain't getting no super Canelo payday. It ain't the same type of payday like the people think. It's really not. This fight right here would have retired Lamont Roach, as far as his family or whatever. If he would have ended up beating the guy like Tank, getting a knockdown counted, people don't realize this is a huge situation, man. You're not going to be able, Tank might not ever take a knee again in his career. And you got the one guy who made him take a knee, and we supposed to ignore that and not figure out what's going on? That's the crazy part about it. He might never take a knee again. That's the crazy thing about boxing, though. That's why I love the sport, man. You got to show up every time. Every time. It's hard to be a boxer that trolls in boxing. I hate it when Adrian Bronner did it. I'm like, man, why he brushing his hair trolling, bro? He ain't got to do all that. At a certain point, it's going to bring in bad publicity. At a certain point, you're big enough to where whatever you are doing as far as, the trolling and brushing your hair, whatever, trying to market yourself, at a certain point, you can let it go, because you're not going to get any bigger unless you fight big names. As a boxer, you only can go so high until you actually start fighting people. You only make yourself bigger by doing stuff in the ring, not out the ring. And that's what a lot of fans don't understand. Like Jake Paul, even him, he was a big name influencer or whatever guy, but he didn't start getting attention until he did start doing things inside the ring. That's how he went viral and was able to make a big name for himself. But before that, he wasn't making no noise out here. But he had to make a product. People had to see it with their own eyes against certain people. Even though Mike Tyson is a retired boxer, people looked at it like, well, that's a real boxer. So yeah, Tank got to show up, man. You got to really do what these fans are saying you can do. And to get booed after a performance like that, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Because he's been booed before. And when your whole aura is built off of knockouts, it's a bad thing, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have done it the way they done it with Tank, but that's why every time he responds to somebody, he'll say, I'll knock him out, or I hurt this person in sparring. I'm like, you really make your reputation just bigger than what it really is. Because now every fan expects him to get a knockout. Even in the next fight against Lamont Roach, they're not watching the rematch so they can see Tank go out there and outbox Lamont Roach. They expecting him to get a knockout. So if he go out there and don't get a knockout again against Lamont Roach again, that's going to hurt his reputation. Not because I think so, but because they only want to see the knockout. They don't care about what he's doing as far as the sport. That's why they only want to see Lamont Roach rematch though. That's why I know that fight is way closer than the Pit Bull fight. Because a lot of people felt like the Pit Bull fight was a draw. They talk about it like it was a draw. But nobody really came out and said Pit Bull won the fight the way that a lot of fighters are doing right now. That changes everything. Now you got guys who is in the same industry as you. And a lot of boxers really don't come out and just say a one-sided answer. Like, you know, even with Bitterbeard and Bivol, people was like, well, I feel like Bitterbeard won or Bivol. Man, you got people coming out saying, man, Tank lost. Tank lost, and I respect Lamont Roach. So that performance this weekend let me know everything I need to know. That's why I said, man, he might not be ready for a guy like Shakur Stevenson or somebody. People were saying that as far as, oh, these fighters ain't ready. They need to have a good performance before they get in the ring with Tank. Tank need to have a good performance before he get in the ring with them. I'm not impressed by him losing every round and then knocking the guy out. I'm not impressed when Canelo does it sometimes. That don't impress me. That you lose every round, then you knock a guy out. Because they say certain boxers do that, but that's a lie. That's definitely a lie. Because when I see it actually happen, when I see a guy lose a whole bunch of rounds and, you know what I'm saying, it's just wild. This road situation, it's going to be wild. I'm really trying to find a reason why they should have a rematch, but I'll never understand it. I will never understand it. Because Lamont Roach, now he proved that anybody he hop in the ring with that's being called out to fight Tank, he can jump in the ring with him right now. And it'll be a big fight. It'll be a big fight with him and Keyshawn, Shakur Stevenson, anybody right now. So if Tank don't get that fight, I'm pretty sure Lamont Roach gonna get a career payday to fight one of those names. They definitely waiting right now, and that's gonna put even more pressure on Tank. See, right now, what's gonna put pressure on Tank is, that's why I looking at Rolly all weird, like, you jumping out of the way to fight for Ryan Garcia? Okay. Why would you fight Ryan Garcia? That makes no sense chasing him to 147, but they'll see that soon. He was already struggling at 140. That's why I see they moving certain guys to where they can stay away from people like Keyshawn and Shakur Stevenson. Cause we was this close to getting Rayo versus Shakur Stevenson next. But I felt like that wasn't gonna happen. Then we was almost close to getting Isaac Cruz and Keyshawn. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. So it's a lot of people that's trying to fight guys Tank fought already. We got Hector Garcia still out there. I don't know. If you Keyshawn and Shakur Stevenson, do you fight Hector Garcia? I don't know. Maybe that's something I need to talk about later on. But that'll be a good question though. Could a Hector Garcia fight a Keyshawn or Shakur Stevenson? Because one thing I've noticed, and it's not to talk down on Tank's resume or the guys he fought, I don't know why everybody think them guys is elite. If they had a belt or didn't have a belt. I don't know why everybody thinks all the guys Tank fought are elite fighters. Like those the best of the best. Lamont Roach just proved that that's not really the case. Or they wasn't at their best when they fought Tank. But for him to even take the punch better than a lot of guys that Tank fought, oh, that explains everything for me. There was no reason why he should have took a punch the way he was taking it. Flush on the chin, wasn't running. I mean, everything you wish for a boxer to get in the ring with Tank. You know, everything we hope that a boxer will do if he gets in the ring with Tank, he did it. He did it immediately. First round, he walked forward towards Tank. All right, try to knock me out. Tank hit him. Couldn't get him up out of there. But I love the real boxing fans, though. It's a lot of real boxing fans out here. We got real boxing fans out here who knows that Lamont Roach did something we really haven't seen a lot in boxing. A lot of people don't just walk towards a power puncher like that and just take it away from him. They didn't make him look regular. We seen Kambosos do that against Teofimo, but it happens like every 3 or 4 years. At this type of level, it happens. It rarely happens, but it happens. But you notice that's 2 times already you had power punchers get in the ring with guys who are not known for having power. And all that not mattering. Kambosos versus Teofimo and Lamont Roach versus Tank Davis. That's why I tell people all that power and stuff, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. People get a couple of boxers who got power and they say, oh, well, that guy got outboxed, so he can't box. Nah, a lot of these guys, when they get in the ring with a real boxer who does nothing but box and don't rely on power, a lot of these guys will look regular. That's why people don't get in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. They say, oh, it's boring. Yeah, it's going to be boring when you can't hit nobody. Of course, any fight where you can't hit anybody is boring. You know what I'm saying? Any fight where a guy can't hit nobody in the face is boring. But we pay you to try to hit the guy in the face. That's your job. It's not my job. Now we got people that got to set up a certain fight for you, a certain style that needs to be set up for you to hit somebody. No, that's not good. But I have seen some similarities though. A lot of things that people are not talking about is how Pitbull looked against Tank. He looked like how Lamont Roach looked. Same way, man. Whether Tank had a hurt wrist or not, I think at this point, man, it's too many excuses after these fights. First he had a hurt wrist. Now he talking about he got grease in his eye. Every time after a fight. Goes 12 rounds. Come on, man. Every time you go 12 rounds, there's something happening to you. And these are things that, you know, a hurt wrist in the fight, yeah, it happens, but not as much as you think. But then to get hurt, as far as, you know, by your hair and some grease, oh, that's the reason why I went 12 rounds. Nah. Oh, that's the reason why I took a knee. No. Nah, no way. If your instincts are to go down, if you get something in your eye, yeah, you definitely need to be in more fights. More dangerous fights, too. If you're a boxer and your instincts are to go down, like you in MMA or something, it's definitely possible now. I'm not saying as if it sounds stupid or trolling Tank, like, oh man, you said that. I can't believe you said that. No, I've actually been hit because my hair is very long. I've actually gotten hit in the eye with my hair lately. And I'm not gonna lie, it was like I don't know, man. Could have put my eye out, to be honest with you. But my instincts was not to hit the ground, though. Definitely wasn't. And if I was getting paid to stand up, I definitely wouldn't hit the ground. But this is why you have Floyd, and this is one thing I ain't heard nobody saying. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is why you have Floyd Mayweather sitting ringside telling Tank, hey, do this, do this, do that, do that, do that. Everybody like, man, why Floyd over there all in the camera with Tank? This is why. This is why. This is why when you heard me talking about Tank for the last year, I've been saying Tank is a good listener. He's doing a good job listening. He needs to keep listening. He needs to keep listening. Good job. Keep listening. Because you see when he doesn't listen, it looks bad, man. Look very sloppy. I know people try to blame his coaches. Hey, man, can't no coach force no man to listen. You know what you fighting for. You fight for millions of dollars. Hey, ain't nobody finna force you to listen. If you don't take that serious, I don't know what it is. You ain't fought in a year. Well, you fought last year, one time? How you ain't focused? Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand that, man. That's why I said the calling out and stuff, the hyping up fights, it's going to be good, but it's going to be some of these dudes' last paycheck. Because ain't no way you going to a lot of fights with guys like Shakur and all these guys. And you think it's just going to be easy. And you'll get a knockout and that's it. I'm going to walk out and no. That dude Pat, I don't know if people know, but that dude Padley would have gave Tank issues this weekend. The electrician. The electrician would have gave him issues. I'm glad everybody went out of their way to find out he an electrician, but he would have gave him problems. Definitely would have. And I'm going to tell you something else, too. It's a lot of fights people looked at that Lamont Roach has. And people said, oh, Lamont Roach, I just don't see anything he's good at. I don't know what Lamont Roach is good at. He doesn't look good to me. He looks basic. As soon as he get in the ring with Tank, now everybody know what he good at. Oh, now he looks good and everything else. Yeah, I know. I know how that works. Shout out to Lamont Roach, though. He really went out there and shook up the world. This is something I got to talk about, man. This is the biggest upset, one of the biggest upsets probably in boxing history. Everybody counted Lamont Roach out. One of the biggest upsets ever. They just robbed this man up. This got to be talked about. This ain't no normal thing that's going on right now. If this was any other boxer, people would be talking about this from night to morning, over and over. But Tank Davis just had a guy from 130 come up, walk him down for 12 rounds, got a draw. The referee that missed the knockdown. You got people out here explaining rules, talking about a knee doesn't mean it's a knockdown. Man, who cares, bro? That's what I'm saying. Like, people trying to explain stuff that we saw already. Like, man, we seen what happened. The dude went down because he was getting touched up. He went down because he was getting touched up. That's it. You can't do that in boxing. That's why I said it's going to be a hard time. If he would have got a loss this weekend, him and everybody else would have crashed out. That would have been, bro, last fight. If Tank would have lost this weekend, that would have been his last fight. He would have crashed out. He would have crashed out in that arena. I'm telling you, I seen it. When he was running around before the scorecards happened, I'm like, They say this man lose right now, he'll lose his mind. I was afraid for them to say that he lost the fight at that point. I'm like, oh yeah, he definitely invested in this. Obviously, he felt like he possibly lost the fight. Let's just say that. From what I seen from Tank, from the time that the fight ended to the time they said majority draw, he showed me that he was very afraid of him possibly getting a loss. Usually after a fight, you see him, he chilling, looking for his stuff to put on so he can raise his hand and get up out of there, do his backflip. Bro ain't do no backflip, nothing. I'm hearing everybody now, but it's crazy though, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. And you know what? Lamont Roach is the perfect person for this scenario. Because he ain't going to change what type of person he is because of the followers or nothing like that. He going to be the same type of guy. He ain't going to get Hollywood like everybody else is. He going to be the same guy, but man, I respect how he moving though. Because he's still like, man, I want the rematch. He ain't thinking about nothing else as far as people knowing him more now. He want the rematch. And he going at Tank's fans. Because he been getting trolled for a while and he like, nah, I'm gonna do the trolling. Or not really trolling, but voicing my opinion, letting people know what time it is. He done did enough work where he can say anything he want. The man should be going home right now with the biggest win, one of the biggest wins in boxing history. But he got robbed though. So what is Tank resume really like with that Lamont Roach fight on there? So he gonna have to have a rematch. To most people. I mean, I ain't gotta see it, but the way people are making it seem right now, yeah, he has to go out there and do it. Because fans all the time, they gonna say, well, that guy ain't better than Lamont Roach. Oh, well, you fought Teofimo. It was an easy fight, but he didn't do better than Lamont Roach. Because you got Eastside Cruz and Lamont Roach with the same kind of scenarios. Both of those fights got excuses after. Nah, that's bad right there. Let me see if they got some more information came out recently. I ain't looked at nothing yet. Lamont Roach out here trolling these boys. Hilarious. That's funny. They said Tank reached out the top rank to see about availability. Let me go ahead and report this real quick. Hilarious. So they got Tank out here asking about Lomachenko now. Which I knew that was gonna happen. Everybody say he was ducking. Lomachenko was ducking, whatever. We'll see. Shakur said, why do y'all keep saying I ain't got no chin? Y'all niggas seen me hurt before? Y'all be tripping on this app. Yeah, they be saying a lot of people ain't got chin. They said Lamont Roach ain't got a chin. They said Lamont Roach got a chin. I seen. He said I wouldn't witness. Yeah, they talking about the hair and grease stuff. Yeah, it's crazy right now, man. They talking about this Lamont Roach loss might be overturned. This is wild right now. This is wild. I ain't gonna lie, the best scenario would be to give Roach the win, man. So you ain't gotta go through all that other stuff. Cause if Lamont Roach wins, that mean on the contract he can do the rematch. I ain't Shakir talking about he want to tank Lamont Roach next. Yeah, he said he going with Lamont Roach next. I hope he do get that fight with Lamont Roach. I want to see Lamont Roach Shakir Stevenson now. Yeah, I want to see Lamont Roach. You know what's sad, bro? I know y'all might think I'm crazy, but I'd rather see Lamont Roach versus Shakir Stevenson, man. At the end of the day, if Tank wanted that fight, man, he would have made that fight. All them other excuses people been making all these years, they know what time it is. They know why the fights have been made. They know why the fight been made, man. Lamont Roach putting in work though. Man, I'm glad they getting this respect. Ooh, he got 20,000 followers on Twitter. Damn, dog. They hit the bank on him. That's why I was tripping last year. I'm like, I don't know how low it was. I don't know if it was 2,000, 3,000. But I was like, I know y'all tripping on Lamont Roach. I'm like, what? Cause I was like, he funny on Twitter. You know, I don't be on Twitter like that. Like, he funny on Twitter. Now everybody follow him on Twitter. That's why I don't be on Twitter, man. Too many nut huggers on there. Now everybody jumping on the bandwagon with Roach. Oh, I'm trying to see something real quick. They got some other stuff going on. Oh man. So they out here reviewing the news, right? I told everybody. I was the first person to post that too. Yeah, I was one of the first people to tell y'all this, man. A lot of people thought I was bluffing. Probably get off here soon. But yeah, it's a lot of news coming out right now. A lot of news coming out. That boy Tank, he got some answers, boy. He got an answer about a lot of things right now. So Mike Copperger just came out and confirmed what I put out earlier, hours ago, that Tank Davis and Lamont Roach fight is being reviewed by the New York State Athletic Commission. And he said that the technical issue prevented replay review after Davis took a knee in ninth round. That wasn't ruled a knockdown. So they're gonna look at what happened in the fight, but from what I'm seeing right now, if they review it, like if they really look at it, instead of go around here and play, this should be changed to a loss. Like I'm saying, they're reviewing this to see if it could be changed to a loss. If it is, Lamont Roach gonna be the winner. It's that simple. Their reputation is on the line right now. Nobody is coming to New York to fight these fights if they know that they can't even go back and change something that should be a knockdown to a knockdown. Ain't nobody finna do that, man. They're not finna put their investment. A fighter is an investment. Ain't nobody finna put their investment out there like that. You just started getting fights again to New York. You had a lot of people complaining last year because they didn't know it, but old boy wanted to cheat and not really use the same rules for testing. You had people last year talking about New York was a bad place to have fights. Then this year you got this going on with this Tank fight. I'm telling you, man, y'all better fix it ASAP. Tank fought in Atlanta, we ain't have none of these issues. They need to go ahead and fix this ASAP. If they don't, you're gonna hurt the sport. Because right now, a lot of people don't even know what's going on. A lot of people never seen this happen. So they obviously don't know what the knockdown and taking a knee and boxing and, you know, the timeouts, the turn around. This picture trips me out, man. But him running to the corner like that. Yeah, that picture trips me out, but it's definitely hilarious. But him running to the corner like that and taking the knees, I mean, you know, it's gonna hurt sports in New York. And we got a big fight coming up in New York again with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. And we just had that situation last year. Man, see what I'm saying? And they're trying to bring big fights to New York, but this ain't helping right now. It's really not. If I'm a boxer right now, I'm like, hey, man, I might need to think about setting up a fight somewhere else. I might need to. Somewhere in the South, Arizona somewhere, possibly West Coast, but I might need to think about putting a fight on somewhere else, because if they got to sit up here and think about this knockdown being a knockdown in the 9th round and how everybody basically agrees with it publicly, and there's still some kind of talks about it, it's going to be bad. But I wouldn't be surprised over the next couple of days they end up having to take a loss. Now, if they're going to go into reviewing this and nothing comes out of it, that means they're just going to talk about this for no reason. Because what is there to review? You see the man take a knee, it wasn't counted, so no matter what he says changes anything. He can say that he thought an airplane was flying over or an airplane was finna land in the ring. He could have said anything. He could have said that my eye popped out and I had to pick it off the ground and put it back in. It don't matter. That don't have nothing to do with him taking a knee in the ring still. People have to realize that. It's been certain guys that got hit in a fight, taking a punch, and before they taking another punch, they just took a knee. I know y'all done seen boxers take a knee before. Ryan Garcia's done it. Y'all seen what happened when Ryan Garcia took a knee? When Ryan Garcia took a knee, did anybody see what happened? Or do I got to pull it up real quick? When Ryan Garcia took a knee against Tank, did anybody sit up here and say, Ryan Garcia just taking a timeout? That's how you know people is being biased now. And like I said, people gonna have to start talking, because right now you explaining stuff only Tank should be explaining. At the end of the day, man, all you seen was him take a knee. So whether it was hair gel or it could be a spaceship, what they got to do with him taking a knee? He still took a knee. And around the time he took a knee, he had blood all over his nose. People fail to talk about that. Dude have blood in his nose though. Where is it at? See if I can see it up close. Is it on this picture? I don't know if it's this picture. But I think he had blood in his nose on this picture. And now they're talking about him and Loma, which I'm not surprised about. Because only these other fans been thinking around talking about, oh, well, Loma's ducking. If Loma is ducking, why is this? And people know I'm the first person to say if somebody's ducking or not. If Loma is ducking, why are you reaching out to see if Loma gonna fight you? For everybody who thought I was tripping a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about Loma, please explain this. If Loma is ducking, why are you reaching out to Loma? I'm gonna ask that question one more time. If Loma is ducking, why is Tank Davis's team reaching out to Lomachenko for a fight if he's ducking already and he turned down the fight? And saying a representative for Gervonta Tank Davis reached out to Top Rank after his draw with Lamont Roach Jr. to inquire about Vasily Lomachenko's availability for a fight later this year. Why would they reach out for a fight with Lomachenko later this year if they said Lomachenko is ducking? I don't know. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but makes no sense to chase the guy who already turned your fight down, right? So if Lomachenko turned the fight down with Tank and said, I'm not ready, I got back injuries. He said he got back injuries and everything. So if you're reaching out to Lomachenko, you can reach out to everybody else, right? You can reach out to what's his name? Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis. Shoot, at this point, you can even reach out to Devin Haney. I'm pretty sure he'll line something up after these next two fights. He that type of guy. He can do something like that. But he reached out to Lomachenko for what? I thought he was trying to rematch Lamont Roach. If he trying to rematch Lamont Roach, why is he sitting up here reaching out to Lomachenko? If they saying that he possibly can fight Jake Paul or something like that, which could be possible, it could have been possible that it could have happened or whatever. Why is he reaching out to Lomachenko? That's the thing that's tripping me out right now. Lomachenko has a back injury. You would want to go after the guys who's actually fighting and active right now. Keyshawn Davis has nothing going on. He just fought 2 weeks ago. Please call Keyshawn Davis. He fought 2 weeks ago. I mean, this is something you pray for. The guy you want to fight or should be fighting for unification just fought 2 weeks ago. That rarely happens in boxing. And then Shakur Stevenson just fought a week ago. So these are guys you can fight. But Lomachenko is somebody they asking about? It's not good, man. It's not good. Like I told y'all, Tank just said recently, Lomachenko is not scared. He said, I don't know why they say Lomachenko's scared. I don't think he's scared. If everybody seen me playing that video, even Tank said he don't feel like Lomachenko is scared. He like, I don't think Lomachenko's scared. I don't think he's ducking. So this proves right here that, yeah, Lomachenko wasn't ducking like that. Just gonna tell y'all that. I'm standing on that too. Just like I stood on Roach showing up last week, and now everybody, oh, Roach, I knew Roach was gonna be good. Nah, shut up. Yeah, right, prove it. But, yeah, this proves right here that he wasn't ducking though, man. How you reaching out to somebody who ducked you already? That don't make sense. And somebody writing this article. Let me go on Tank page. He should be retweeting this and saying, man, this is false. Let me see if Tank is gonna retweet this and say that this is false. Nope. Nope, he ain't said nothing. Last thing he said was, but this is what happened, and I can only blame myself, but say no more. He said, but this is what happened, and I can only blame myself. Say no more. And the reason why he was saying that, because he know, man, I can end up with a loss for taking the knee like I did. And you blaming everybody right now. They be blaming multiple people too, man. Like when you take a loss like that, these guys be blaming multiple people when they take a loss. Multiple. It's really outrageous. But yeah, Lomachenko being an option that's wild news, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's insane to me. That is insane. So he's an option. Lamont Roach is an option. I'm hearing Jake Paul is an option. What kind of options are those? So everybody except the guys that been calling you out. So last time I checked, Keyshawn Davis was on top rank too, right? Okay. Yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm just sitting here thinking, bro. Like I said, the boxing news is definitely coming out. I'm just chilling at this point. At this point, you ain't got to force the news out. It's gonna come to you. Yeah, people just didn't understand how good Lamont Roach is, man. That's really something I realized. They really overlook Roach. They ain't overlooking him now, though. I wish I did see some news coming out, though. Really ain't seeing much right now. But Tank trying to stay away. He trying to keep away from that. He trying to keep that Lamont Roach and Shakur Stevenson fight from happening. Having that fight happen is insane. If Shakur Stevenson get a fight with Lamont Roach, nowhere Tank can go. That's for sure. There's no way he can go if that happens. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That dude Mike Coppinger. He out here doing it big right now. Yeah, he put that news out. Oh, hold on. They got some news coming out about Soul Direction. In order to modify the original call, the instant replay official and the in-ring referee must agree that the replay showed clear was an error. Huh? Viewer to complete during the 1 minute rest period if it's if the incident occurs in the final round, the instant replay official and in-ring referee should have up to 5 minutes from the conclusion of the round to make a decision. Oh, okay. Yeah, they just reviewing right now. Some stuff going on right now. Yeah, Mike Coppinger out here putting out some details. I'm going to pull it up real quick before I hop off of here. So what's going on with this letter is, I mean, this is the policy that changed for the instant replays for the New York State Athletic Commission last year. I think they reviewed it or updated it like September 2024. But this is basically just laying down all the options and things they're going to go through. And said they're going to have adequate technology available for instant replays, used to determine the correct outcome of a bout, including but not limited to a cut, a knockdown, accidental fouls, or a fight ending sequence. So they said that the technology available during the fight was going to be used for things not only including knockdowns or slips or whatever. Then they said the commission will assign an instant replay official for each bout. Let's find out who that person is eventually. Haven't got to that yet. Only the in-ring referee or instant replay official is authorized to initiate instant replay review. The in-ring referee may consult with the instant replay official to determine the correct outcome. In order to modify the original call, the instant replay official and the in-ring referee must agree that the replay shows clear and conclusive evidence that the in-ring determination, man, I don't know how to say that word, was a error. Sorry to say it. But best efforts shall be made by reviewing officials to complete the review during the 1 minute rest period. An additional 30 minutes may be added to the rest period by the reviewing officials upon notification of the commission, timekeeper, and athletes of the need for such additional time if needed for completion of the review and announcement. So the thing I'm looking at right here on all of these are the one where it says, where is it at? The instant replay official and the in-ring referee shall notify the judges and commission score table of the decision prior to the start of the next round. Like, they ain't come up with no decision. That's the thing that caught me off guard. They didn't come up with any decisions, and the replay official, what was they actually doing? And they said that the referee and the instant replay official was supposed to agree that there was an error done in the fight. It said nothing in this policy should restrict the commission's authority to review video evidence to determine the correct outcome after the final official outcome of a bout has been announced in the ring. No, man, this ain't good right now. This is definitely not good. It's good for Roach because he gonna have a chance, but when it goes to stuff like this, as far as the commissions, I mean, they're gonna try to save face as far as in the future for having these fights up there, but this is a bad look though. Being honest with you. And these rules just got updated recently. I don't know what's been changed, but they said implemented by vote of the commissioners on September 5th, 2024. So this is something that's fairly new still. And y'all ain't use it to the best of your ability? And you're a commission that was just struggling in the Garcia fight. Yeah, this is not good, man. It's really not. This is showing they far behind on a lot of things they trying to put in the sport right now, and it's not working. It's definitely not working. But for them to have these rules like that, they're gonna have to review this. That's why they're looking at it now. If they don't review that stuff, especially after that, what happened in the fight, for them not to go through protocol like they didn't, yeah, that hurt Lamont Roach situation badly. That means Lamont Roach literally was held out from getting the opportunity because, yeah, you can solve all that in the ring. Replay official. Come on, man. Like, we got to figure out who the instant replay official is. Your job is literally to look at the instant replay. That's your job. So I don't know, man. Somebody gonna not have a job after this, I guess. But yeah, that's a crazy situation to have. It really is. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff hanging right now in the balance. Lamont Roach's reputation is on the line bad right now. I mean, his reputation is all the way on the line. And it's crazy how something he did right, he might get penalized for it because somebody else didn't do their job. A fighter who competes at that level like that, he might not even get a chance, to be honest with you. Unless he fights Shakur Stevenson. The only reason why he getting a chance now because Shakur Stevenson's stepping up. Even with a belt, you know what I'm saying? They giving this guy, you know, they ain't giving him a lot of chances. But Lamont Roach is in a perfect spot, though. Perfect spot. I mean, Lamont Roach is in a perfect spot. He doesn't need to worry about anything. I think his career is right in the position it needs to be in. Yeah, he gonna shock a lot of people out here, though. He definitely gonna shock a lot of people. A lot of people been sleeping on Lamont Roach. They definitely have. But yeah, man, that's crazy news, man. They coming out. That New York State Athletic Commission, they not playing, man. They have to do this because if they don't, they're not gonna have a lot of big fights over the next couple of years. People are gonna start looking at them as a joke. But yeah, but right now they got Mike Coppinger looking to put out his information about this policy. And they might end up changing it. Yeah, they might end up changing it. It's crazy. But yeah, man, it's also what's going on right now is it's a lot of pieces going on with Tank Davis right now, but it's a lot of people fighting over a spot. It's a lot of people fighting over Lamont Roach to fight him. So if Tank don't fight Lamont Roach next, it's almost a guarantee him and Shakur Stevenson gonna fight. Unless he gets a major payday from somewhere else. And if Tank don't get the Roach fight, and if he does get the Roach fight, then that's gonna let you know who he's fighting next, but when is it gonna happen? And what needs to happen for this fight to have a different outcome? And can he change in this fight some different things? Who the pressure gonna be on in this fight? I think, to be honest with you, from what I seen, the pressure is going to be on Tank to get a knockout, but I'm gonna be honest with you. By the time the fight get there, I think Lamont Roach will have more pressure to get a knockout. It might not seem like that, but him doing the same thing he did in this fight, by the time the fight does get here, people are gonna be like, oh, well, he just did the same thing he did last time. So as the fight get closer, it's gonna be more pressure on him to get a knockout. Does he need it? I don't think he needs it. But for them to feel like he needs a rematch and that was a draw, that means they want to see him do a lot more than what he did the last time. And for him to basically get a knockdown that wasn't counted and them to not look at that seriously, yeah, Lamont Roach, he gonna have to do a lot more in the next fight, which is something I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't want to see no fighter who I feel like possibly won the fight, even if it was Tank or him. Because then at this point, you basically postponing other matchups. I'm not trying to see another 2 years go by before we start talking about him or Shakur again. So now it's another matchup where it's in the way, because the Pitbull fight was kind of in the background. Then the Ryan Garcia fight was in the background recently. Now the Lamont Roach fight is in the front. So that's like 3 fights that fans have requested lately. And they all rematches. So now if he go do all those rematches, that's going to be a whole nother year. Hopefully if he fights 3 times. So you can keep pushing these fights back more and more and more. But that's boxing though. Boxing is about matchups, and this is the hot matchup right now. Not saying I wouldn't want to watch it again. I'm just saying realistically, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's only so long you can really do this as far as to figure out who won the fight or not. At this point, just pick a winner or a loser and keep it pushing. But if Lamont Roach would have won, which looks like it could happen, that's going to be an automatic rematch. So I feel like it ain't going to be no news coming out about a rematch happening within the next at least 3 to 4 weeks. So if Tank, even if he wanted to fight in May, unless the athletic commission comes out and actually says something happens within the next week or so, yeah, that could be possible, but they got to see what kind of changes they're going to make. And I think mostly the changes are focused on if the public wants the changes to happen. Because if nobody would have said anything about it, I don't think it would have been a big deal like this. But everywhere I've been seeing, people have been commenting on if it's a knockdown, and a lot of people feel like Tank lost. I'll be real with you. Do they feel like he a trash fighter now? Nah, not really. It ain't too much trolling going on. So obviously people don't think he a trash fighter, but they definitely feel like he lost the fight though and want to see a rematch. Because you can't press this hard for a rematch and think somebody won. You just can't. Nobody can convince me that. I've never seen that before. You ain't pressing that hard for a rematch. Trust me. If that's the case, Morrell will be doing that right now. He'll be like, man, I'm fighting Benavidez next. And Benavidez said he'll fight him next. He'll give him a rematch. So yeah, you know when somebody want a rematch. And guys is available for it too. But Lamont Roach in a good spot though. Even if he would have won or not. If he would have won, it would have been an automatic rematch. With the draw, he can go fight Shakur, but it sounds like the public wants him to fight Tank so bad that even Tank coming out now and saying something. Tank never said something about he gonna fight a fighter. And give you a date or a month? No, I ain't never seen Tank say, I'm fighting so-and-so in May. He talking about he gonna fight Roach in May. And what that lets you know? Same thing that Canelo let you know. When Canelo was talking to Jake Paul, Turkey Al-Sheikh had to call him like, hey, what's going on with the Jake Paul thing? Then that's when Canelo came out with the messages like, oh, okay, we good. I'm gonna fight William Skull and Crawford. So with Tank, he did the same thing today. He seen everybody hitting him up about a rematch and what happened in the fight, and I heard about your hair, and then he got the stylist talking about that the hair wasn't a problem. You know, they got people going at her, attacking her, threatening her and stuff over his hair. So there's been a whole situation that blown up out of this. So right now, he gonna have to figure some things out because they going through all the rules and it don't look good. And if this does happen, this doesn't help the next fighter say, I want to fight Tank. It's not going to help none of those fighters because a lot of guys ain't going to be able to go in there and just knock out Tank. So most of these fights will go this way. But if his fights is hard to score like this, it ain't going to be no reason why a lot of these young guys are going to want to fight him. And I'm going to tell y'all why that's true. The energy of a lot of these guys is not really screaming like, oh, I want to fight Tank next. Obviously, they will do it, but they're not really too high up on fighting him right now. It's a reason. It's a reason. They don't want the same thing that happened to Lamont Roach to happen to them. I'm not even talking about the knockdown. The knockdown is that's not the hard part. The hard part is actually, going 12 rounds with this guy, taking all his power shots. That's the hard part. Because a lot of people say, yeah, Lamont Roach boxed well. He still had to take them punches on the chin, though. Even if he would have boxed bad, he still had to go 12 rounds. And a lot of people feel like that's impossible in certain situations. They feel like Isaac Cruz only went 12 rounds because Tank Davis had a hurt wrist, but to be honest with you, Tank need this, to be honest with you. Tank needs this. He needs this. The Tank Davis that we seen back in the day when he was knocking guys out when he came into the pros, Tank Davis went winning all his fights before he turned pro. So Tank might be a guy that needs a loss here or there to keep himself focused. So to be honest with you, them not giving Roach a win and giving Tank a loss, that might hurt Tank's career. Because that might have been the motivation that Tank needed to be the best. Everybody ain't gonna be undefeated. But a lot of people don't look at things that way. What if Daniel Dubois would have got the situation with Usyk? Everybody know that he possibly beat Usyk, but what if Daniel Dubois wouldn't have basically taken that knee against Usyk? Everybody know he's a way better fighter now since that Usyk fight. So sometimes you need a loss to make you better, but if that's the way the team want to move you, or that's the way boxing want to do you, go ahead. But trying to kick the can down the road don't work, bro. Trying to push guys in the front of the line don't work. It never works. Every time they try to skip guys ahead of the line, it never works. You naturally got to fight the best to prepare yourself for the very best. We don't know who the best 135 fighter is right now. But if you want to jump up with Lomachenko, that means you got to jump up with Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, all these guys. Because Tank at the point in his career right now, he can't have too many situations like this Lamont Roach fight. The reason why I say it is because the things that I seen him do Saturday, I'm not surprised by. So as a fan, I'm not like jumping off a bandwagon or anything else. People might not think I'm a fan of Tank, but I'm not sitting around here saying, oh man, why he look like that? He look like that because that's the type of style he fights. You take the left hand away, he ain't got nothing. So I'm not really surprised. You know, this type of style he been fighting with for a while now. A long time. So for people to be surprised by Tank right now, it kind of hurts him. Because now it's like, why he don't look the same as he did before? Because it's a different style. He's been fighting a certain style of guy with a certain experience and certain talent level. That's why when people look at Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, they make it, you know, guys, they make a big deal about it. Even before Keyshawn Davis got a belt, when he was over there, got caught, failed the test for smoking or whatever, for marijuana. When everybody lost their mind about that, I said, bro, they gotta know that this dude is good because they're not doing every fighter like this. He doesn't have a belt yet. I'm like, why are they trolling Keyshawn Davis? They gotta know this guy's good or something. It's something they see. Because if he was a real trash fighter, you'll be doing every fighter like this. But you're only doing it to him and Shakur Stevenson, so they know the talent level. But if you think he gonna get in the ring with those guys the way he got against Roach, it ain't gonna happen. Because they can do the same thing Roach did. Those are highly skilled boxers too, silver medalists. Highly skilled boxers that can take a punch. That's why Shakur Stevenson said today, like, man, who said I can't take a punch to the chin? I ain't got no chin. Who said that? Man, that's a lot of people out here saying he ain't got no chin. And they are sadly mistaken. Dude definitely has a chin. He definitely has a chin. De Los Santos got some shots in on him. Yeah, he got some good shots on him. But he got a chin though. I'm pretty sure he showed that already. But yeah, they pushing for this Andy Cruz and Keyshawn Davis fight. I mean, Andy Cruz got plenty of options, man. Andy Cruz could fight. He could have fought Tank Davis next or something. That would have been a statement fight for Tank. Yeah, Tank ain't beat no gold medalist yet, I don't think. If I'm not tripping, maybe he has. Yeah, he beat a gold medalist yet, I don't think. But that would have been a good matchup for him, Andy Cruz. But man, they got a lot going on in the sport of boxing right now. This is wild news. I mean, this situation is really serious. They said it's implemented commission 2024 post fight. That's crazy. They said nothing restricts these guys to review. That's crazy, man. So they gonna have to go. So now they can go ahead and review the fight though. If anybody didn't understand what I was talking about earlier. So the commission now, they can go ahead and review the fight after, you know, everything already happened. They can still go back and review it and change everything. And people said this has high potential to be corrected. Wow. They might end up correcting this situation. I might come back on later on talk about it, but I'm gonna get some more information on it, but I don't want to just say anything without really knowing. But as I see right now, they just changed the rules last year to where you could do these fights after the you could look at the evidence after the fight. That referee, he got to step in, and that replay official. I don't know, man. They talking about if they don't agree on things, though, it might not change anything. What they got to agree on? See, I don't like that rule right there. You got to agree on certain things with. Agree on what? They already know that those guys had the knee situation. By now, if you got to review anything, something wrong with you. They know that this went viral and it's all over the place. So if you got to review anything, I mean, you doing that on purpose at this point. You know that there was a knockdown. That's the way you got to score, especially in a fight like that. Especially in a fight like that, it just can't happen that long. That's crazy. In the 9th round. Yeah, I'd be afraid to have these fights coming up. To be honest with you, I'm not too enthusiastic about the because to be honest with you, yeah, man. Oh, y'all looking at Earl Spence? You talking about sad out here? It is sad out here in a lot of ways, especially in boxing. Especially in boxing. Because the way they going with these rules, every time something happen now, it's a crazy rule being thrown around. Every time something happen, man. But a lot of people think that this result can be changed though. If this gets changed, it's gonna be the craziest thing we've probably ever seen before. But Tanks just said he just happy that he didn't get knocked out. He said he just happy he didn't get knocked out. That's funny. I don't know, man. Tank, I don't know. He just at this point, him saying that, they took it away from him, bruh. He didn't do enough in that fight for somebody to take it away from you. I'm gonna be real with you. But yeah, that's good though, man. They working on that right now. So I don't really have much to say about it until, to be honest with you, the knockdown. Only thing I'm mad about is I know that it's hard to go in the ring with a guy like Tank, especially from 130. Last 12 rounds and the fight the way Lamont Roach did. Every boxer in the world said the same thing since the fight happened. I heard somebody said Tank Davis got his homeboy paid. Bruh, why everybody acting like Lamont Roach wasn't making money before he fought Tank? I hate when people say that too. Man, Tank got Lamont Roach paid. Lamont Roach got Lamont Roach paid. Lamont Roach was a champion before he jumped in the ring with Tank. Man, quit disrespecting dudes like that. Tank made Lamont Roach whole career. The reason why Lamont Roach went out there and threw a jab was because of Tank. Come on, man. Let's quit being disrespectful. Lamont Roach went out there and got a draw after doing something that nobody else could do. Let's be serious. Ain't nobody finna celebrate. Even Lamont Roach, he not finna celebrate that. Getting a draw. See, dude, people want you to act like a winner. But then when you do act like a winner, they want you to have a loser mentality. Well, just be happy that you went 12 with Tank. Not finna be just happy that I went 12 rounds with Tank. Not finna definitely be happy. Especially when you see everybody agreeing with what you see. Oh yeah, Shakur was talking about Tank ain't call him out. Yeah, a lot of people ain't asked Tank about that. Why he ain't call out Shakur Stevenson? What's crazy is you got people talking about, man, Roach should be next for Shakur Stevenson. Now we already got 135 pounders. No disrespect to Roach, I ain't saying that, but now that shows you that ain't nobody had no options for Shakur Stevenson until this fight happened. Now that Lamont Roach did good against Tank, they like, yeah, Roach should fight. They ain't say that before Roach fought Tank. To be honest with you, Eastside Cruz should be fighting Shakur Stevenson. To be real. To be real, Shakur Stevenson should have fought Eastside Cruz. But yeah, I don't know why they asking for he said they fit. Bro, speaking facts though. Exactly. When did you call out a peace sign? Like, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I mess with Dog. He be speaking some facts. Oh yeah, hold on. This is another tweet. Steve Willis should never be allowed to referee another fight. There's no explanation. Bro, that's a fact, bro. I can't even lie about that. But him not to call a knockdown at that point. Oh, that's what Earl Smith talking about. Damn, that what we doing? What? And his daughter. Man, I'm about to get up off here in a minute. That's crazy. Yeah, this is huge news though, man. I might get back on here eventually when some more news come out, but yeah, I gotta let this one definitely marinate for a little bit. But yeah, Lamont Roach, man, one fight changed boxing, man. I'm telling y'all. This year with 50-50 fights, it's gonna be insane. I can't see the chat right now for some reason, but I appreciate everybody for coming through. I really do. I'm gonna have some more news later on. Appreciate everybody for coming through though.